Hail, Sinfonia, come brothers, hail, may find you Alpha ever reign. Hearts, hands, and minds we pledge to thee. All hail, all hail, all hail, Sinfonia.
All right. It's time, folks. It's time for, well, almost time for the final match of season 11 of the PMALCS between Gaslighting Isn't Real and Going In Raw. But first, we're going to wrap up the season with our honors and awards. So we'll get to the match here in a little bit. But let's wrap up. I am Packer Diehard 12, your games manager. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for an awesome split. It's a bit of work to organize things, and I know, there's some times when maybe I make a decision that isn't make everybody happy, but overall, everybody's been awesome to work with. All the team captains were great, and I think it was a pretty good split. I hope everybody had fun. Um, and Excited to get the final match underway. So let's get into these awards first. So we did vote on one thing. We didn't do an all-star event, but just to honor and recognize your fellow competitors, we do have all PMALCS voting, just for best people in each role. And so we have all PMALCS team 1, 2, and 3. And hopefully this is up now. Yes, so I'm just going to reveal the teams all at once. So here they are. Team 1, congratulations to Frontlash, Maye, Bear Jr., Chad Penguin, and Squints. Some really, really close voting um, for a couple of these. Squints in TNT for the top support was super close. Bear Jr. and Coach Eggboy was actually very close for first and second mid lane after such a great spell from Eggboy. Team 2 is going to be Klugscheiser top, Lefty Lambert in the jungle, so congrats to Lefty Lambert as a rookie in PMLCS, being honored as basically voted as their second best jungler this split. Coach Eggboy, like I just mentioned, very close to Bear Jr. in total points. And then Cornstar and TNT as the bot lane. And then Team 3, so this is going to be Tobex Lull in the top, Balls Aldrin in the jungle, Ice Cold Bro mid, and Opie and Zepho as the bot lane. So congrats to all of those. And thank you everybody who voted for being honored as the best of the best and PMA LCS. Could have swore Lefty had already played a Switch. I don't think so. I mean, unless he had a different name and I didn't know, or he played like multiple seasons ago and there was enough of a break where I lost track of it. I'm not sure, but I thought he was a rookie. Why no coach of the split? Well, we didn't really have managers or coaches. I mean, some teams might have had like an extra person helping them as a coach, but it wasn't equal through like each team didn't have a coach and like they weren't team managers either, so it was just like the captain. So some teams might have had additional coaching. I know at least one or two did, but so since it wasn't something that was universal throughout the league, we didn't do that. And then let me go over here. We're going to run through our individual awards. My super high tech layout here. So we'll start with the MVP, most valuable player. There's lots of ways you can interpret value. Is it simply the best player on the best team? Is it the player that was most relied on for the team's success? But however everybody interpreted value, um, the player who is earning this award is none other than Bear Jr. So that one was. I don't want to go through like honorable mention just because I don't want someone to be upset if they were like close to winning it. So that one was a pretty close vote as well. But congrats to Bear Jr. on your MVP. Steal of the draft. So this was the player who you thought maybe fell the farthest or maybe just overall outshined the other players around where they were picked. So, even somebody picked in the second round could show off and look like they deserved a first round pick or, whatever. But this is going to go to one of our players tonight, Lippy 13, the top laner for going in Raw. Who was I know he was a late draft pick. I think the last 4 or 5 picks. So congrats to Lippy 13 on his second split he played in season 10. Most improved player. This one is a player who in solo queue has moved up the chain to their highest rank ever. So in solo queue and overall in PMLCS, could tell how much they improved as a player in their new role this split. It's none other, and I'm not going to go copy this, so it's not going to be spelled right, but I'm going to try to spell it, or I'll just do Klug. You all know who that is. So Klugscheiser, team captain for Gaslighting Isn't Real in tonight's finals, the most improved player as voted by you. But like I said, yeah, I know he made it to plat playing top lane. The first time he's been that high in ranked, and also being one of the, he was honored as the second all PMA LCS top laner in his first time playing that role to split. So really happy for him. The Leroy Jenkins Award is we try to have an award that is like a little bit more lighthearted and like a player who is always aggressive, always wants to fight, not necessarily, you know, a negative award like the hardest enter or anything like that, but something that can still be kind of a fun in that way. But anyway, this one is going to be a repeat winner. This is going to be Bear Jr. Um, when you're as good of an individual player as Bear Jr. And you know like your individual limits as well as he does, he's always going to look to fight because he's always going to look to press his advantage if he thinks that he can outplay you. So that tracks. But Bear Jr. always known for being aggressive. And then this last award is kind of a new thing we've done that give me respect. Basically, just the player that when you're up against this team, they're the one that is the most annoying to have to think about who you're banning. Like we have to waste all of our bans on this one guy, for instance, or whatever. So lots of guys known for signature picks that have to be banned, but this one is another repeat winner. So it's going to be Bear Jr. again was awarded this. So that's 3 awards here for Bear Jr. with MVP, Leroy Jenkins, and Give Me Respect. Of course, known for the Yasuo ban, but Irelia banned quite often against him, things like a Yone. So often drawing at least 2 bans in the first phase, and then more if he hasn't had a pick. So um, very understandable there for the Give Me Respect award. So those are your overall individual award winners: MVP Bear Jr., Steal of the Draft Lippy, Most Improved Klug, Leroy Jenkins Bear Jr., Give Me Respect Bear Jr. Howard says that's my mid laner Bader. Yep, your mid laner getting 3 of the individual awards to himself. What in the Warthog? But yeah. So once again, we're gonna get into the finals match here in about 5 minutes or so, hopefully. I know everybody's already online, so we should be able to get going without much of a delay. Don't know where my casting meat is. But anyway, let's run through. Interested to see what other people were voted for in these categories. The I guess I can run through some of them. Steal of the Draft was pretty contested. Coach Eggboy had a lot, even though he was like a high second round pick. His performance I think warranted maybe a first round pick, so that makes sense to Steal of the Draft. Xerneas had a couple votes for Steal of the Draft. He was also a last round pick, 80 carry for Squints. I wonder if we should do no double awards, goes to the next highest. Maybe. I'm trying to remember some other Leroy Jenkins awards. I think there was like Guy Fieric and Sarah Cruz had multiple. Maye had a couple for the Leroy Jenkins award. Give Me Respect also had like Tobex Lowell for like Singed. Flesh for, Anivia, Zillion, kind of, always target bans. Those are some of the other names I can just think off the top of my head. I don't have all of the results. I just had the individual winners written out. I didn't want to have too much stuff up while I'm trying to stream. So let's run through our roles and the lineup here on the rosters. So coming in as the number 1 overall seed, thanks to their tiebreaker with Matt and Cheese, gaslighting isn't real. Captained by Klugscheiser in the top lane, Nature Dan in the jungle, Coach Eggboy, their mid laner, Chad Penguin 80 carry, and Quadratic the support. And then going in Raw, I think they were the 4th overall seed. I think that sounds right. Making it to finals, and that's Lippy 13 in the top lane, Balls Aldrin in the jungle, Seismic Bean mid lane, and in the bot lane is going to be their AD carry Opie and TNT team captain from the support role, 3rd seed for Raw. That's right now. Yep, I remember. They jumped up, I think, from 4th to 3rd in the final week of the regular season. So those are your lineups, and I'm gonna. Well, let me check in and see how we're doing. Howard, can you even join this casters channel, or do I have to move you up? Ah, that would be why. Hold on, let me try to drag you. Doesn't let me drag you up here either. Oh, maybe I have to give you the role? Shoot. Hold on a second, sorry. Gosh dang it, hold on. We just became... Sorry that I'm trying to figure this out in real time. I don't think it'll let me drag him up there, so I have to, like, give him the role, I guess. Oh wait, there we go. Are you here now?
Hello, yes.
Okay, I don't know. It wasn't letting me do it earlier. I don't know. I'm not very techy, so I don't know how to do things. Anyway.
I thought maybe if I moved up into the actual channel like drop down, maybe that would help, but I don't know.
Gotcha. Anyway, hey, guys, this is Howard. He's joining me on the cast.
Hello.
So do you have the link for the draft
Yep,
wall?
I am currently viewing the
Okay, cool.
spectator. Actually, I'm viewing stats right now, but I'm, you know.
Okay. So I believe we are waiting for a couple people using restroom, but otherwise we'll be getting into game here or into draft here soon. Gaslighting isn't real as the higher seed get choice of side selection. Game one, they chose blue side, and then after that, it's the loser of each game who picks side selection for the following. And this is a best of 5.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how Going in Raw has actually not played as many games together as Going in Raw, or as Gaslighting Isn't Real. The team as a whole has only missed 2 games as a full team, like looking at bringing in subs and all that stuff. So um, while looks like Going in Raw has missed 4 games with a full team.
Abuga?
Yeah, 4 series rather.
Who is that?
It is the lovable Hook My Book.
Oh, I guess we have another.
Well, hello.
Let's get caught up in a moment. Here we have actually bands have already started, so let's get these first couple knocked out. Nocturne and Senna taken away from. Oh my gosh, my draft lol is like glitching out hard. I think. At least to me it does. I don't know if it looks like it is on stream. Anyway, Nocturne,
Yeah, it looks.
Senna, and Ziggs are the bands from GIR, and yeah, it's still doing it. So sorry,
Oh,
stream, if
okay.
it looks weird. Swain, Zareth, and Zach banned away by Raw.
Yeah.
So pretty standard target bans for these guys. Swain away from um,
Really away from Eggy and Quadratic.
yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
Egg Boy's played in multiple Zareth games, and then Zach is Nature Dan's most played, so those are all pretty specific. On the other side, Nocturne away from Balls Aldrin, and Senna and Ziggs taken away from their bot lane. Jake, TNT can play Senna, and OP can both play Senna in multiple ways, and then Ziggs, just a pretty OP champion right now. It looks good on stream, I think.
Like a hot second because I'm like loading my
So
computer.
like stream looks totally fine, but my screen it's glitching out like crazy. So at least it looks okay to stream. So first pick was Maokai for GIR. Pretty flexible. Most of the time we do see that as a jungle now, but you can triple flex it. Support top. And then it was answered by Amumu Zeri. So Zeri is very much a aggressive OP pick in the bot side, and
Looks like
Amumu.
Maokai's gonna go jungle.
Yep, with the Zyra pickup there for Quadratic, so I would definitely expect that. Vayne coming out for Chad Penguin, game 1 of finals. He's going to bring out his patented Vayne. So to go with Quadratic's most popular champion by far is Zyra. So I don't know if you normally think of that as a duo in bot lane that you're afraid of, but just given the comfort level on both of those, it's going to be answered by the Nautilus for TNT. Zyra, famously one of the most squishy champions in the game. If you're able to get her hooked and CC'd by Nautilus, she can die very easily. So I kind of like having an engaged champ into Zyra, and that's going to go into phase 2.
Yeah, I think the Zyra complements the Vayne really well, just because she allows that extra range and allows them to disengage any. Because Vayne wants to, keep kiting back and keep that middle, that tiny little distance that she does have in her auto attacks. So I think the Zyra is a good complement to that.
Yep. So second phase of bans here, it's the Silas was taken away from Egg Boy, which could be pretty good with like stealing a Mumu ult or Nautilus ult or two already good ults for Silas, and then not knowing what they're going to pick on the last two. Kled taken away from Klugscheiser, one of the champions he's picked up recently as a less than standard pure tank, as like the Malphite Ornn he was playing for a while. He's opened up his pool a little bit. Speaking of Ornn and Malphite, both of those banned away from Lippy 13, so they don't want him to just play the engage tank duty, putting him onto something else. So we'll see if he pulls out like a Garen or something. Would be pretty aggro. He's played that before, so
I think Klug might. Ooh,
Holy
that looks like
heck.
an Eggy pick. Okay. Or no, not Eggy. Sorry, that's for the other team.
Yep. So Seismic Beam
Yeah.
there should be piloting that Nico for Raw. That's a champion he has played at least a little bit. I don't know. He likes his assassins recently. He's played a lot of the Fury. He likes Akali and Echo. But as far as more mages go, he has played Nico, as well as a couple other control mages. So I know Nico is one of his most common ones that he does if it's not an assassin.
And there's the
Corky.
Eggy answer with the Corky.
Yep. So scaling poke marksman there, really strong in the late game, complements the engages when he has the package up, and overall is just really safe. Can Valkyrie out if he needs to. Tam Kench there locked in. So that's going to be a Kench
Whoa.
top blind pick for Klugscheißer.
I mean, oh.
And right now the answer is hovered as an Urgot.
I think he might actually take the Rumble.
Let's see. They're hovering
This
through a
looks
lot of
like
champions now.
It looks like a Klug Rumble angle, but I don't know.
I
Oh, he is
No,
going
this
with
would
the
be
Urgot.
Lippy
Okay.
for Raw.
Oh, Lippy, right?
Okay, Urgot,
Okay,
which
keep
is one of
thinking.
his other most commonly played champions after some of those other tanks we mentioned. So
What
that's a pretty
in
interesting matchup. We don't see that
world?
many TK top anymore, but I think it's slowly becoming a little bit more popular, but still not premier pick. And so I don't know about. I mean, Urgot eventually can shred through tanks pretty easily with all the shotgun knees, percent health, and all that. I know they have a really long reset timer in the early game, so I don't know if he's like the best shredder through a TK early. Um, but I don't know.
What? With Ergot? I mean, given the right ruins, I would say it was a 1v1 with both of them being level 3. I would have to mainly probably give it to Ergot, because he does have potential of armor shredding, and if it goes up against tanks, Ergot pretty much has a little bit more of a advantage.
Cornstar asking for a a Facebook post on the awards. Yes, I will post those. We got right into the stream here for the finals, so I didn't have. Plus, I was trying to figure out how to move Hauer in here. But I will post those at some point here soon in
Wait,
Facebook.
does he not?
um,
Someone give Howard the power of fucking streaming.
yeah, I don't know how to work Discord very well, so I think I've given people like roles before, but it's been a long time and I don't remember. But anyway, we figured it out. We got him up here, so. Uh-oh, we already have a potential copy pasta from Instant Grant. Typical
This is why
finals copy pasta.
we can't have nice things. Just note, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we can have nice
So,
things.
uh, here's our comps overall. We're about to get into the spectator delay. Let me go over to the client so I can do this. I'm gonna try to. There we go. Try to remember how to do a poll or like opening up the casino so people can vote. I'm gonna try to remember how to do that.
I'm
Okay, shoutcasting.
we.
Yeah, it looks like Gaslighting is going more for the let's waste all their ults and then re-engage kind of comp. They have a lot of good tools to kind of just run away. The Zyra ult, you have the Tom Kench ult, you have Maokai ult. I mean, Maokai ult is both a great disengage and a engage tool. So that coupled with Corki, once all the I guess once everything is blown from red side or going in raw, then because I know when my team faced gaslighting isn't real, Eggy chose the Corki on that side, and every time my team got in and got the engage going on, Eggy just packaged onto me in the back and just murdered me. So I think he's gonna look to do the same kind of thing to OP on the other side. But I mean, who knows? They going in raw has some really good disengage tools as well. All the CC from Nautilus, the root from Nico. Of course, Amumu's kind of just a go forward champ, really. But it's gonna be there are gonna be some real interesting dances when it comes to team fights.
Yeah, definitely. Because, like you said, Amumu is just an engage, but Nico is a really strong follow-up on the Curse of the Sad Mummy, as well as Nautilus trying to get in and CC people. So clearly there's an objective of trying to dive the Vayne and Zyra, and even the Corki. I mean, all three of those, but Vayne and Zyra specifically being, like, I think the ones you want to try to burst out right away. But the disengage, Zyra ultimate is good at disengage. TK can maybe eat Vayne or Corki if he needs to run away. Maokai is pretty good at disengage, so like it's pretty good to try to nullify the engage coming from Raw. So, but they don't have a lot of CC on their end besides like Maokai ult and W or a Zyra root, so they don't have that much lockdown on their own other than trying to like help disengage. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and thanks to Panda, by the way, the channel, the casino was opened. So predict game one, use all your channel points, pull a exclamation point Tambo, and bet everything you have and lose it.
I have my love for her. I'm not gonna buy away from it. I have my love for her.
Okay, oh, I'm already in. Let me pause it at 10.
Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead, hop on out of here. Good
Oh,
luck to both teams.
you were just gonna say hi. Okay, no problem. So how or whenever you get in there, you can pause at 10 seconds.
Yep, I'm here.
Let me finish something real quick. Okay, so I'll count down. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so we have quite a bit of pings here from from GIR, but they were just pinging a 5-point, and we're also seeing a 5-point from Raw, so not going to be any early action. Defensive ward placed from Balls Aldrin in front of his Raptors, and he's going to recall and pick up an early sweeper. So trying to be a little bit more proactive in the vision game.
The all chat spam. We love a good finals all chat spam. It looks like both teams just opting into that 5-point. No one wants to make a mistake already.
Yeah. I think if I'm... There's our pings as well. I'm kind of looking at Nature Dan to try to get some stuff going. Because when you're looking at his opponent, Balls Aldrin, Amumu is pretty much a not gank until ult for the most part, so I think Maokai can maybe take advantage of that a little bit to be a little bit more proactive early, while Amumu is just trying to power farm. But they don't have the best setup in the lanes to help him, unless he's maybe trying to gank Urgot, who's over positioned, but it's hard to gank a Nico or Zeri when you don't have like CC in the lane to help you, so we'll see if he can actually make an early impact, but both junglers starting on the same side of the map.
You can
And
expect this like a nice 4-minute fight up top lane.
yeah, Amumu's going to be ahead. I don't know if it was because Maokai just didn't have a leash. I think it looks like he started his Raptors and by himself. So Amumu is definitely ahead at looking on the minimap in the clear.
Jake stepping away to ward, just I think drop some damage down on OP there.
Yeah, they. I think he just wanted. He moved up and put the defensive ward in the tri-brush because they looks like they maybe had vision that Maokai started Raptors and they thought he might have been trying to early cheese gank bot. So. Control Z. I didn't really do anything. Anyway, so Klugscheiser's going to be pushed in pretty heavily here before any junglers can get there, so I'm not really looking for a gank here. He's even going to go ahead and pull off an early recall is Lippy. So otherwise everything's just pretty quiet so far.
Looks like Balls Aldrin's moving into the top side jungle. Oh, no, he's going for Scuttle there.
Yeah, he spotted him on the Scuttle, or on the blue buff
On the
as
blue
he
buff,
started
yeah.
Scuttle, yeah. So he knows he can safely cross over and double this, even though he doesn't have Prio in the bot lane. But because of Maokai being so far behind... Oh, topside we're going to see the disdain come in here from Lippy, who wants maybe a first blood on a Klugscheiser. Not quite enough damage yet. Maybe he had enough
I don't know,
damage.
with the Q going... Oh. I think he spotted the Maokai on the ward and backed off. Didn't want to try and finish off that kill.
Yeah, maybe if his Q was on a cooldown, had a bit faster cooldown, he might have wanted the flash and try to Q it, but nice trade there from Seismic Bean on the Egg Boy. I can control Z and mouse wheel to zoom in, but it doesn't let me zoom out. So I don't know if it's just a setting I have. And I don't know how to figure things out, but... Balls Aldrin clearing out a ward. I'm gonna go back for second clear, and here is the first gank of the game onto Nature, or from Nature Dan on a Seismic Bean, who's gonna go ahead and flash over the wall, but the sapling gets the slow, and here is a flash from Nature Dan. The bandage toss comes in, but it's too late. First blood goes to Coach Eggboy. I think I'm a second or two ahead of you from what it sounds like.
Yeah, I think so.
Hold on a second. Pause it when you get to 525.
Okay.
I paused it there too.
Okay.
You good?
Yep.
Okay, I'll try it again. And it's 3, 2, 1, go. And try to hit it.
Yeah.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Might have it locked. Yeah, I probably do have it locked. Maybe I can look at settings when I have time. But yeah, very nice gank, like I mentioned, from the Maokai. Even though he was behind on the clear, he wanted to maybe just force down something, even though he's behind quite a bit of CS now to the Amumu. And they trade his flash for Seismic Beans, but they still get the kill onto the Corki, which you really like that. Ooh, nice Silver Bolts proc. Oh, but here's the turnaround engage on the quadratic.
The turnaround.
Instantly had to flash away from that one. Oh, and Urgot is inside Tam Kench, who instantly flashes away from the turret. So, some
it's like
trading
the Nico's
action.
coming around bot.
Ooh, Chad Penguin hits him with the emote.
Yeah, there you see the power of that disengage from the Zyra. Kind of just says, "Oh, you're gonna walk at me. Never mind. No, you're not."
Yeah.
This is a best of 5, so best of 5 series.
Yes, Sergeant Potato Sack.
Finals for
Nice
the
name.
PMA LCS.
So I do think we're gonna have Amumu get to his ultimate faster, which is gonna mean like if they're playing for an early dragon, once he has, you always want to play around Amumu ultimate timing. If it's on cooldown, you don't want a team fight, but if you have it, you know you can try to group for an objective. And he did actually just hit level 6. Looks probably quite a bit earlier than the Maokai will. So he's on the bot side. He could potentially look for a dragon. As Zeri is heading back out to lane. So we'll see if they decide to try to do that.
Yeah, if you look at
I think
at
they
the
saw
CS
Vayne
numbers,
recall. So yeah, they went ahead and
yeah,
started
pretty-
it off.
pretty even overall, except for in the jungle. Balls Aldrin's got a nice 4-camp lead over Nature Dan.
Yeah, he's gotten all 3 Scuttle Crabs and has already completed more camps. So they're using the tempo advantage and the fact that they saw Vayne recall in the middle of the lane, so they just burst down that dragon really quickly. So yeah, Nature Dan was topside and still is not level 6, so that's how much time advantage Balls Aldrin had with his faster clearing. Otherwise, though, it's been a little quiet.
Yeah, only one kill in the
Long
first,
range hook there onto the Vayne,
oh, wow.
and he instantly cleanses. The flash comes in.
Oh, the ult's down. Chad
Depth
Penguin
charge.
just escapes with his life.
Yeah, depth charge follows him, but too deep behind the turret. Gets down the cleanse and the flash, though, so now, you know, especially as an Amumu, you're looking for this potential dive, but Nature Dan has
Penguin
rooted
staying
it out.
here is dangerous.
Oh, the flash bandage toss doesn't connect. He goes for it again and goes right in.
Oh,
he's just
yep,
going to
there
solo
goes.
kill him. He's going to be deep by himself, though.
He's going to trade his life for it.
Yeah. But that denies quite a bit of CS from the Vayne, and it's a turret played over to Opie, so now there's a 15 CS lead on Opie. And the kill on the Maokai, you're not that... I mean, both the junglers have to kill, and these are, like, the engage for the team, so it's not as important as the Zeri or the Vayne getting a kill, but either way. We're just going to collect this wave here. Only 500 gold separating the team so far as we're right about to get to the 10-minute mark. And again, ahead of the mark here on objectives as Seismic Bean and Balls Aldrin are positioning for this Rift Herald. Lippy also using his pressure topside to come down and aid. So they're just going to brute force this Rift Herald. And it's already gone. One Dragon, one Rift Herald for Balls Aldrin, really making the most of his faster clearing and faster tempo. TNT on the roam as well, just in case a fight was going to break out there top side, but nothing happened, so Opie just collecting the wave by himself bot as TNT crosses back down. But he can safely farm under the turret. TNT... Oh, never mind. That's Nico. Here's a gank topside. Balls Aldrin is pretty squishy, going for a demonic embrace. He has some AP, but he doesn't have any tanky. And yeah, there's no ultimate, so Preemptive flash
Is
from
up.
Klugscheiser to dodge the bandage toss after spitting him out. But you
Right.
get the flash.
The Amumu ult is coming back up. There comes the re-engage.
Yep,
I think
he's
Klug
coming
is
back.
dead here.
There's no flash. He should be able to have his W out, and he does.
the
Oh, he
W
interrupted it!
Oh!
What a crazy interrupt there from Lippy, and Fear Beyond Death. He's going to put in the grinder. What a
man.
great play there from Lippy, and that's going to be an instant Rift Herald as well. They can try to take this. Bot side, another Mac range hook here from TNT, but the disengage instantly out of the Zyra. TNT is super low. There's no flash from Chad Penguin to chase him down. Meanwhile, Chad Penguin is going to get re-engaged by Opie after the ultimate comes out there. I don't know any of Zeri's ability names.
Yeah, unfortunately, all the gold is into quadratic right now in the bot.
Oh, the TP bot side, Klugscheiser. He's not going to go back top side. He comes in to try to play bot side. He completely ignores the Zeri, just picks up a kill for himself onto TNT.
Oh, but here comes the re-engage into it.
He
the
has
journey.
no health, so no flash, and he already used his E to get over a wall, so he can't get out of that one. So
Wow.
2 kills for the Tam Kench is going to accelerate some tankiness, although he did die topside and lose multiple turret plates. But too early in the game for them to take the full turret, so I'd say worth on that teleport overall.
Right, he just negated whatever gold lead Lippy might have had. Now sitting at 200 gold lead over Lippy.
Yeah, he went back and just bought his Heart Seal off
Yeah.
of that versus the Black Cleaver for Lippy. So second dragon of the game has spawned here, and so far it is Going in Raw who have control over the river, but Maokai is nearby, but there's so much more vision from red side. Another turret plate top as Lippy finishes that one. Ooh, ultimate there from the Zyra gets Opie, who's going to be about half health, but the good guy Plant blocks the bandage toss, and then he whips the second one onto a minion, so now they're just going to be able to walk out of that one.
Yeah, Balls Aldrin no ult once again, trying to go for an engage.
I think Zyra would have been dead if it wasn't for the Plant blocking that first bandage toss, but
Absolutely, yeah. That's somewhat of the strength that disengages Zyra. You can throw that plant in front of the Nautilus hook. You can throw it in front of the bandage toss. Like, you know, the only thing it won't block is that the Nico Blossom. That's the only I don't remember what the root is called, but that's the only thing it won't block is.
So they are not able to use their vision control to take that dragon, but still playing in the area as both junglers are here. A little bit of vision taken back, though, by GIR. And we're going to see the engage here now into the bot side, but TNT is all by himself. OP does ultimate, but it's too late. Meanwhile, Balls Aldrin comes in, and there's the Nico ultimate on the 2. Balls Aldrin flash in and uses Curse of the Sad Mummy on the 2. And Nature Dan finally goes down. Zyra ultimate to try to disengage. Here's the TP and the package. Coach Eggboy is huge. He's going to try to take down Seismic Bean, and he does. That's a double kill. Looking for the triple kill on the Balls Aldrin, who actually gets one back onto the Corki.
Wow, the bandage toss just kind of saved face on that last play.
So in the end, that's a pretty crazy. I think it was 4 for 3 in favor of GIR.
Yeah, in favor of GIR.
But no
Once
dragon.
again, more of that gold flying into Quadratic's pocket. So he's
2 kills though for the Corki. So has himself on 3. Has his Manamune built that will be able to stack up before too long. In the aftermath
Quadratic
of that,
actually
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. Quadratic actually sitting at a 1k gold lead over TNT.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's supports and we don't, you know. But we love a good supportal combat, so, you know, if it comes down to it.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So Lippy getting the first turret of the game top. So they didn't get it with the Rift Herald, but the damage it did was enough to set him up for it now. And overall, it's going to be just over 1k gold lead for GIR. Still positioning around the second dragon of the game, and Lippy has just hightailed it bot to fight this while Klugscheiser pushes topside, but Klugscheiser has his teleport back up, so if he chooses to rejoin, he can. But
Yeah,
right now,
Zyra
there's
is
just
as
no
much
way
as
for them to get into this here, so they give up the drag. Ooh, the flash hook onto Quadratic is massive, but the ultimate out of Zyra is big as well. Fear Beyond Death goes in, and the knock-up from Seismic Bean only gets the Maokai. Here's finally Klugscheiser teleporting in. There are a lot of low health bars. Seismic Bean goes down. There's the flip on the Klugscheiser as Opie gets out of there, and it's going to be Lippy going down on the end of it.
Penguin's
Triple
gonna clean
kill.
up.
Klugscheiser wants to dive. He has enough health that he can tank it, and he does. In the end, that's going to be a 5-for-1. They lose the dragon, but they get the kills, and the gold lead will balloon here. 2.5k now is the advantage, and about to be even more. So, yeah, over 3k now with that turret for GIR. Consolation prize is that Cloud Drake for going in raw.
Yeah, it was a 5-for-2 in that jungle, and support did go down.
Oh, that's right. Zarya died earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to make most of the death recalls. They will go for this second Rift Herald of the game. Nature Dan is here, but he's by himself. Hook hits the wall. So that'll be the second Rift Herald for going in raw. Eventually.
Nature Dan uses that smite, so there's no way
Klugscheiser goes in. He's a little far ahead right now. Quadratic goes in to try to steal away the Rift Herald. He does not do so, but they will kill as he goes on a rampage. And now, inside the belly of Tam Kench is Lippy. Root from Nico is not going to save him. That's another quick couple of kills, and they don't get the eye.
They prevent the eye. Look at that.
TNT gonna die because of that hook.
Yeah, Aggie just chasing him down.
The eye was not secured, so not worth their losing 3 kills. They're gonna try to force down this turret as well. Here comes the ultimate from Nico. It's huge on the 2 members. Chad Penguin, though, is able to get the kill onto Opie, and actually it's a double kill. He gets on the Seismic Bean. The Pop Blossom was big, but there's just too much damage, and now this gold lead is skyrocketed up to 7k here as GIR are blowing game 1 open right now.
Yeah, I think it's a mistake to stay at that turret. You just let that die. You don't want to. You're right now. They're just kind of letting them snowball a little bit more by waiting around.
Yeah, Sean, it's GIR is gaslighting isn't real, and Raw is going in Raw. They both wanted to be GIR as acronyms, but then Raw's changed. So if you're confused, Sean. So gaslighting isn't real, blue side GIR, with the big lead here. No Baron for them yet, but they have all 3 outer turrets. And they have a big lead on kills.
A 7k gold lead.
Yeah, it's massive for 20 minutes in the game. Balls Aldrin smiting away the blue buff. Can't even secure his own blue without having to smite it.
Oh, the support grabs the blue buff.
Just more
You
hooks.
love to see it.
TNT taking a decent amount of damage already from the Leandry's Zyra plants.
Yeah, so Fleeing Panda says Raw need to figure out how to stall this game while finding ways to get objectives without team fighting. So they need to find a way to win the game by not playing the game. So we'll see. But,
Yeah, I mean,
as
their
far
one
as-
saving grace is potentially Dragon Soul since they have 2, but also it's just a Chemtech Dragon, so it's not even that good of a soul if they were able to get it anyway. So, I think you just give the next dragon or two if you need it, because it's not worth potentially dying over, and just try to farm up and maybe trade dragon positioning for a push on mid to maybe get this outer turret. I mean, you do have objective bounties on these turrets, so giving up dragon to try to take an objective bounty on a turret I think is a smart way to go. Lippy instantly teleports to the top lane, maybe because that's what their goal is, but they're able to recall and stop it I think before you can, so.
Yeah, I think Raw getting those early 2 Drakes kind of gives them a little bit of relaxation room right now. They just
Oh,
need
he's just
to
gonna drop the death
regroup
charge
and-
on the Chad Penguin, and the flash hook is there, but
TP's
instant
coming
TP.
in. Maokai's here.
Yep, and Maokai was coming around as well. They thought that they had Chad Penguin and Zyra by themselves on a recall from the rest of the team, but
And this is going to be a Baron play, looks like.
yep. So Urgot is
They're
pushed up
gonna
really
try and
far.
catch Lippy.
Yeah.
Lippy, no TP available, so he's got to just try and run out.
Yeah, so that's going to be it for him. He's just going to go down. Flash probably should have just saved it because I don't think there's no way getting out of it. He delayed them from taking Baron for a few more seconds, maybe. There's
no way you
Baron
run from
steal.
a Vayne in that case.
Yeah. Hero play, Amumu steal is on the table. Nobody else should try to contest it, I think. You just let him try to hero steal it. Pugscheiser is now running around the pit to try to play keep away.
Opie's in a compromising position.
So now it looks
right
like they might try to... TNT was hex flashing. No, he chooses not to. Amumu goes in. It's low. Oh my gosh, that was actually so close to getting it. But instead, it's going to go down, and Nature Dan flashes over as Chad Penguin and Quadratic flashing over to join the party. Double kill there for Klugscheiser. TNT can't go anywhere, and that's a kill for Quadratic, actually, his third of the game. So now it's more than 10,000 gold lead and a Baron for all 5 members of GIR.
Yeah, I think GIR just kind of blowing this lead wide open.
Yeah.
They just took that and ran with it. Now sitting at the 10k gold lead.
Yeah, like I said, I think everybody else should have just backed away from Baron and let Balls Aldrin just try to get in and steal it, which he almost did. But then there's no reason for OP and TNT to also die on the back of it. Like, just let Amumu try to steal it. But so we'll see. Pretty sad here, like we're seeing in chat here, scaling isn't on the side of Raw either, correct? So they've already been... They're at the point where scaling favors everybody on GIR, and they were already behind to begin with, so... Just some miracle, I guess, team fights are the only thing that could get him back in it. But finding a pick, maybe able to get some defensive vision and find someone in the lazy rotation. Just kind of take it from there, but...
Yeah, the problem for Raw is that they have to... The only way they're going to find their way back in is by picking people, and... GIR is just staying so on top of having that TP available in either Eggy or Klug, just hovering their carries and not being too far away from them at any time.
Right.
So any pick they try to look for has just been nullified so far.
So I don't. Okay, yeah, so they still all have Baron. They're 4-1-ing it right... Well, 3-1-ing, I guess. Zyra is just kind of setting up some vision. She finally will group up here and join. Corki pushing in top. The rest of GIR is in the mid lane here. The inner top lane turret finally goes down, but they have not lost anything inside the base yet, as Baron will get closer to wearing off, I think, so... We'll see if any of the inner structures are actually threatened. Looks like now they're pushing up here to try to bulldoze down this mid inhibitor turret. Let the empowered Baron minions. Oh, Baron actually wears off, so empowered
Wow,
canning
they're not going to be able to get it.
can't do it. Depth Charge comes out, and the instant disengage ultimate out of Zyra and Maokai. Klugscheißer goes in, but
Klug is...
Balls Aldrin was on the backside here, maybe looking for a flank. Hook doesn't hit anything. Chad Penguin has ulted. Klugscheißer on low health isn't that afraid. Oh, but the Fear Beyond Death. Klugscheißer just stands still.
And there's 1,000 gold shutdown into the pocket.
Flash Hook gets onto the Zyra, and the Nico goes in, but there doesn't hit anybody as everybody is already dying. 1,000 shutdown again onto the Vayne. This is the miracle fight that they needed to try to climb back into it. Will they bite off more than they can chew, though? Yeah, the rockets coming through are going to dissuade anything further, but they got 3. They do end up losing that mid inhibitor. But 3 kills, 2 massive shutdowns. Unfortunately, I think you want them on, like, Zeri. They both went to the Urgot. But
yeah.
Balls Aldrin may be looking for this dragon, but instant TP here out of Coach Eggboy, who also has the package. So they're going to let him take that.
Right. I honestly don't think it's terrible that the Urgot got them. It allows them a little bit more of a viable front line, because right now it just seems like they have been going in and just getting deleted.
Yeah.
And so that gives a little bit more strength to the Urgot, and maybe some potential team fighting strength.
Yeah, so it does mean that Lippy completes his Jock Show. He has 3 items. Jock Show on Balls Aldrin as well. He did go the Demonic Embrace route, which means it takes him a while to get tanky, building the AP item first. So, I mean, they brought the gold deficit to, I think, just less than 10,000 when it was at probably 11 or 12. So, I mean...
Mm-hmm. Eggy had to use the package there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Probably
time's out. Yeah, it's only
Yeah.
it's a pretty short time to use it when you pick it up. So
Yeah.
he picked it up just to make sure that he could dissuade them from taking the dragon as he teleported out. So no Baron, no teleports, no package, as the next Baron is spawning in 20 seconds. But they do have the super minions pushing in the mid wave. So we'll see if there is maybe... I don't know if it's smart for Raw to contest this. Maybe Balls Aldrin can try to steal it, which he was fairly close to doing last time. I mean, he was in the pit when it had less than 1,000 health. But I don't think it's worth everybody else on Raw dying over. TNT is going to play... or Klugscheißer playing Keep Away. Amumu is on the other side. And they're not going to let him get anywhere close.
Yep, they're not letting him get in at all.
Spits
the ult
him.
from the Maokai.
Yeah.
I think this is an ending angle right here.
Yep, so Balls Aldrin dead. They did use the Maokai and the Vayne ult, but it's a 5v4 with minions already pushing into the base. So
Right.
we'll see a desperate stand here from going in Raw. Lippy tries to go in. He misses the flip, and even though he's tanky, he's going to get shredded. Beautiful ultimate there from Zyra. Wow. Gets 2, and now it's a 5 versus 2. Opie is going to burn down. Quadratic flashes forward. Actually goes down to Nico,
wow.
But Nico goes down in return, and that's going to be it as the Nexus turrets fall. The Nexus is next in line. Eggboy trying to pad the stats, but he will not be able to, as Game 1 is finished.
Taken by going... Sorry, gaslighting isn't real. I'm gaslighting the crowd here by saying it went to the other team.
So here's your final end screen. Klugscheißer 8-2-6, Coach Eggboy 6-1-11, Chad Penguin 8-3-13.
Honorable mention for the MVP of the split, and really showing his guts on this one. 6,
dang.
111, 26,000 damage, almost 27,000.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew he was doing damage. I didn't know. It didn't look like that he was doing that much more than everybody else from what I was seeing on screen, but he did. Wow. Klugscheiser are out damaging the Vayne though with his TK, so obviously a bad. No, Vayne doing the fourth most damage on his team, so maybe you should put that one away, Crispy Chat. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I think allowing Chad Penguin to get his number 1 comfort pick is just spells disaster. You got to pick someone who's gonna be able to completely outrange that. Zeri doesn't always have the kind of range that she needs to just keep Vayne in her place. Right. Somebody spammed it. ADCs can't win MVP.
Yeah.
Of course it was Chad.
I mean, I think you can play. They picked Vayne pretty early, so you have enough to pick your comp around. Trying to dive the Vayne, which they had a decent engage, but also GIR just drafting really well around defense with Zyra and Maokai and Tam Kench, so that they're comfortable picking Vayne early, knowing they have these champions that they can pick to defend her, as well as defending Corki if Corki's the one getting engaged on, who can also Valkyrie himself to safety if he needs to also. But so just overall smart drafting and early game that was pretty even, maybe slightly even in Raw's favor with a couple of early dragon takes, but once it came around to team fighting, it was all GIR from there. So gonna try to move things along. So I already have a spec link, and Raw looks like I've chosen blue side.
Yep, looks like Raw will start our draft in game 2. Maybe we'll see some adjustments. Maybe we just get some salty runbacks. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see how much things change when you're on the other side of the draft board.
I definitely would have liked to see more AoE damage from the side of Raw in that last game. It looked like they kind of were going for that sort of lock them down and blow them up in one place, and then they kind of shifted. And I think if you're just gonna go for that sort of AoE blast them, Bronze Zodia kind of thing, then Packer sub and support. Then that's what you got to do. If you don't change your draft path halfway through it.
I think yeah. I mean, you're right that with like Nico and Mumu, they're just definitely picking like those are circle ult. I mean, it's a joke, but it's also like there's circle ult champions, and then you pick a Zeri, and well, I mean, I guess her ultimate technically does AoE, but you have to be in the middle of people, and Zeri doesn't normally like doing that. But anyway, yeah, we'll see. We could see something like if Senna is not banned, or also Raw, where the team that banned Swain last time, they could first pick Swain for TNT, which is his premier support, knowing that they have first pick. If they want to go ahead and do that, put him on something that's a little bit more of a carry role. So they have lots of options there. Maybe pick a top laner for Lippy first phase, so he doesn't get those kind of engage tanks banned away from him second phase. Not that he only has to play those, but I think if you're like that game, if you had like Malphite or Ornn top, it just makes it like being able to try to get onto Vayne and Zyra like easier with that kind of instant engage. So,
and I also think if you have the kind of comp that's not going to scale, it's not going to scale well. They needed to use their advantages better. They got the first Rift Herald, they got the first 2 dragons. he had all the scuttles up until the 10-minute point. Like, they had some advantages, they just didn't press them properly.
I think they had the idea with getting a couple early drakes because they knew, like, if you could tell, like, we're not going to scale as strong as them, that we want to try to get to a point where we can stay even long enough to get to a Dragon Soul as a win condition. So I kind of like that they prioritized that early, but you could also go the other way and think, okay, well, I would say you could prioritize Heralds instead, but they actually ended up getting both. So they had
Mhm.
all the objectives early game, but just weren't able to translate it into the mid game. But anyway, second
Yeah.
phase, second game. Bans have just started. I wasn't looking.
And we already see a change in ban 1, the Blues' first ban. Tom Kench is the first change. They didn't like it. Lippy did not like it. He's like, I'm not going against it. Take it away.
Yep. And they had the counter pick against it. He had his choice of champion, and it still didn't really work out. So I think they know, like, even if we can counter pick it, we don't have something we like against it. So just banning it. All three of the bans are the same from GIR, Nocturne, Senna, Ziggs, and the Tam Kench banned in place of the Swain. So we'll see if they go for that first pick Swain that we mentioned.
Right. Swain, to me, is a triple flex. I think you could take it mid, you could take a bot, you could take a support, and there it is. They took it. Like, I think right now where Swain is, you can really flex him into one of those 3 different roles, and he would play fine.
I definitely think TNT is going to play it just because that's his champion. Whether he plays that bot or support, and you have OP on a support champion, probably with some kind of CC, and have TNT farm with the Swain, or you have TNT just be the support and have OP on an AD carry. Either way, GIR, not mixing things up yet. Zyra and Maokai both picked.
Yeah, GIR's gonna open up with that. Oh, and there's a change as well. We got the Silas taking it before it can be banned away in phase 2.
Yeah, so blind pick there against Egg Boy, who is definitely familiar with playing against Silas, so he's going to have his choice of what he wants to play against it in the lane. Potentially can be bad news for Seismic being in the lane phase, but Silas scales really well, and when you look at a Maokai and even a Zyra, there's already a couple of good ults to steal, and we haven't even seen what the other 3 champions are yet, so I think it's a bit risky to blind pick this when somebody as good as Egg Boy can counter you on the other side, but and then the Ornn picked in there for Lippy, like we mentioned, just putting him on, more of a, tank and CC role there. And so far they're very brawly and scrappy. There's a lot of, like, we want to be in your face champions
There's
here
the
from
Klug
Swain,
Kled.
Silas,
Okay.
and Ornn.
So I'd like to see from Raw probably Syndra and Orianna ban. Either one of those, because they're just going to be great champs to just kind of help disengage the Swain and the Silas coming in. Obviously, the Syndra with the Scatter the Weak, and the Orianna ult is just, really strong. Orianna just as a champion right now is really strong.
Yeah, I don't know if you play Orianna against Silas. I don't know about the individual matchup, but letting him steal your Shockwave where he can chain on top of you and then Shockwave himself is not a good idea. So I don't know if you lock Orianna into it, even though that is Egg Boy's most played champion, I think.
Yeah.
But if he wants any other kind of ranged advantage champion for the lane, he can. Banning away some of OP's mid laners here. There goes Zeri and Tristana.
Talia ban. Okay. Eggy does play a really solid Talia, and they're going to save the last pick for Eggy.
Yeah, they could have let him pick there since he already had a counter knowing he was against the Silas and let Chad counter the AD carry, but they're going to let Opie pick what he wants into the Kaisa. Kaisa is, though, like, if you're going to blind pick an AD carry, it's probably one of the safest, especially at this point. and something Chad Penguin can play well. Seeing a Sivir hover.
And then the Jinx.
Then the
Okay.
Jinx. Okay. So they have a really strong scaling kind of hyper carry ADC here, with some champions like Swain, Ornn, Silas, who want to just be in the middle and wreaking havoc of the enemy team, and hopefully letting Jinx just sit back and shoot rockets while the other team is dealing with the rest of what's going on. A Rengar, however, would be a classic throwback
Rengar.
here for Buzz Aldrin, who Rengar was his main champion for a long time. I don't think we see the Rengar here. Oh my gosh, we do!
Oh my goodness. The Rengar. Okay.
That is pretty interesting there.
This makes the game a little scarier for Chad.
I think
while the
Chris
rest
is
of the
one that
team
can
is
be okay against the Rengar, because once you get your upgraded E where you can turn invisible, like once he jumps on you, you can try to just kind of go invisible, run away, and then if you need your ult to reposition and get a big shield, you can. Jace picked in here from Egg Boy, so we're going to have some NA Jace.
okay. All right. Yeah, Jace is a great pick at a Silas. I mean, the Silas ult is kind of less than ideal against Jace. um.
Yeah.
So I mean, definitely a good. I wouldn't necessarily say counter, but definitely a good pick into the Silas.
Yeah, and it gets some poke for one, which if you can at least not get it through the front line and get a shock blast onto Jinx. I mean, I don't think you care that much about poking Ornn or Swain or Silas, considering how much sustain they have. But I think it's just something that is probably going to be able to beat him in lane. And um, like we know, if the Jace gets fed, it's going to be a ton of damage coming out. So
Yeah. Plus the Jace clear and push compared to the Silas push, I think is definitely the Silas is not as strong with pushing. So that opens up Eggy, of course, to roam. Shock blast an entire wave and then just walk away. Like
I do know from seeing Jace at Worlds that once you get items, you can get enough ability haste that you can get 2 shock blasts through 1
through
acceleration
one
gate.
gate. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is kind of cool. I mean, that was like Earth Jace, where you would just put out an E and then get like 4 shock blasts through it. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I do like Raw's comp this go around a little better. They have a nice little front to back with somewhat of an assassination. I think they just kind of fight like a normal comp, and the Rengar just does a pick in the middle of the fight. It's pretty standard front to back with Ornn, Swain, Silas, and then Jinx just kind of on the outskirts.
it definitely
The
is a
only thing,
more sustained damage carry than like, or at least a higher like scaling
yeah,
late game
that
carry
was
in the
the other
Jinx.
thing I was going to mention was that they actually picked some nice scaling too.
Yeah.
You have great scaling with especially the ornaments. Jinx scales really well. Swain scales really well. Silas just constantly feels like he's in a good place, but
Yeah, I think if you're Jinx as well in this game, as long as you have people standing in front of you when Kled ult comes out, and then you don't get hit by like a Jace flank or something, like Jinx can also be pretty safe here. There's not a lot of high percentage like engage outside of just getting run at by Kled's ult. But again, if you have people standing in front of you to block it, and then like maybe not getting hit by Maokai ult or having enough people to block Maokai ult as well, then there's not a lot of ways to get onto the Jinx.
Mm-hmm.
Kai'Sa can, of course, dive in if she gets hit by some CC, but if that's getting blocked, then Kai'Sa can't ult to her either. So the Rengar is just
Right.
the wild card here because I don't think it really matches the rest of the comp. But I mean, it's a champion
Yeah,
Elliott. It was known as his main for a long time in the past. And I mean, if he gets fed, then I
that's the
mean,
thing.
Zyra,
I mean,
Kai'Sa are pretty
yeah,
are going to be pretty
Panda
afraid.
Panda said it. You know, the only real two targets for the Rengar are the Zyra and the Kai'Sa. I think the Rengar pays attention to cooldowns for the Zyra especially. I think that's probably what they're looking for. They're looking to assassinate the person who is constantly sitting in the back and making it harder for their team to get in. So I don't hate the Rengar. I don't necessarily like it, but
Yeah.
um, I definitely could see the angle and what they're looking to try and do probably. Yeah, Jace is also a target, but probably not as much. He probably will go Eclipse, um, and which is super easy to proc on Jace. Give him a nice little shield so he doesn't just die to the Rengar. And I know you can negate a bit of damage if you have a nice enough reaction to knock back the Rengar when he jumps in. It's
If I
tough, but
was,
you can do it.
yeah, I think if Rengar is like fed and strong, he can definitely go on the Jace. If not, then like he's still gonna deal damage to him
Mm-hmm.
because Jace doesn't, obviously not tanky. But I think your priority is gonna always be Kai'Sa or Zyra if you can.
Yeah.
If I was smart, I would have played an ad there in that spectator delay, but that's okay. Could have earned a little bit of free money. Open the casino, yeah, Panda. Since I don't know how to do that. Okay, I got into the game. I'm
I'm
gonna
in
pause
as
at 10
well.
seconds again.
All right.
Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, and I need to... What am I doing? Change the screen. And rearrange the names.
Looks like once again another 5-point start for both squads.
Yeah,
I don't know.
this doesn't
I feel
feel
like
like
if
an
I'm Raw,
invade.
I want to invade with Swain, Silas.
I guess you can with Silas with the E, because I assume that's what you start.
Yeah.
Level 1.
Yeah, you normally start E with Silas, so I don't know why they didn't think of any kind of engage. Because you also start E on Swain as support, so
Right.
I feel like,
Yeah.
You catch someone in 1E, they're dead.
That's some mastery spamming down here in the jungle. Nature Dan again, yeah, so he... Starting Raptors by himself with no leash, which is the same thing he did last time, means Balzaldrin got a pretty significant tempo advantage on him jungling in the early game.
Right, but that also puts bot lane in a shaky spot because they're definitely going to be outpushed here.
Yeah. Bear Trap on a rope, gonna pull in Lippy. By the way, that's the best ability name in the game, Bear Trap on a rope. Seismic Bean getting level 2 there, but Egg Boy does way more damage right now. So a Q Shock Blast here, but he tanks a turret shot and gets blocked by the minion. So Seismic Bean will live. Another Bear Trap on a rope here, pulling Lippy back. Klugscheißer gets the Conqueror, but the minions will dismount him. Gets level 3.
I don't know. I think I still like the
Bella's
E-start
Breath
on,
does a
on
lot of
Silas.
damage there to
Is he?
Klugscheißer. If he has a combo, once he has all his abilities, he might be able to even kill Klugscheißer. But
E-start
Minion Wave is
into
big.
W gives you some good.
Chains, nice sidestep
Kill
there from
potential.
Egg Boy. Flashes away from the Rengar Flash, who had a empowered net up for a root, I believe. Klugscheißer gets the remount,
Oh.
engages, and instantly goes in to try to get the Q. Nice, smart. I think it's called
Yeah, as soon
Searing
as-
Charge or something.
As soon as that ignite came out, Lippy was back the other way.
Klugscheißer
missed the Q.
taking a
Looks
lot
like
of damage
Klug is
here onto Klug. Balls Aldrin gets a
in
Q, and
trouble. Oh. the red buff diff. That was the red buff diff right
Yeah.
there.
ooh, good job. Ooh, never move
Oh,
from the
walked
trap
back
as well.
into the room.
Quadratic Flash Q.
Oh no.
Opie gets the kill, and now he's gonna just die because... Oh, but the exhausts bought enough time where maybe TNT can flash kill him. Flash answered from Chad
Oh.
Penguin. Here's Nature Dan, though, on the backside. Gonna get the Twisted Advance, knock back with the Bramble Smash. I don't think he does quite enough damage, but maybe with the red buff. Oh, Vision of Empire tries to kill Chad Penguin, doesn't get it. Another Q, red buff ticking will not be enough, it looks like, but...
Whew.
Lots of action here so far now. To the skies goes Egg Boy onto Seismic Bean. Empowered Shock Blast is going to put Seismic Bean very low. Has to be very careful here under his turret. Klugscheißer nearly dismounting. Egg Boy, or Opie trying to chase down Nature Dan,
Opie's
forces
gonna-
the flash. So... Klugscheißer dismounted again. Really big minion wave here for him to collect. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Balls
Got
Aldrin was on
Zyro
the
up.
gank. And then he's just going to go to the top river Scuttle Crab and return as Seismic Bean TP's back out to lane, but Egg Boy will back off and recall. So a bit of action early, but now as the junglers go back to clear more camps, things slow down just a little bit. Klugscheißer the first there to get his ultimate.
My game completely froze. So.
Nope. Ignite goes on the Lippy as the Bear Trap on a rope doing a lot of damage. Charge then will put him, I think, under the turret, but Ignite not enough to kill Lippy 13. Oh, here comes the ultimate, but he can't get the knock-up because he was pulled back by the Bear Trap on a rope, but there is one last turret shot there, so it's going to be a trade 1-for-1 in the top lane. Call of the Forge God barely not able to come through as the pullback from the Q prevents the dash. Buzz Aldrin spotted here in the bot side. Interesting. I have no idea what is common on Rengar anymore since I never see it, but Buzz Aldrin going for a Tiamat first.
Man wants to clear. That's all he wants.
I feel like I keep saying Buzz Aldrin.
I think
It's
you do.
Balls Aldrin. But
What's your timer at?
7:25, 26, 27.
34.
35, 36, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to see a trade top here. Klushheiser losing quite a bit of his Scarl health. Not quite dismounted, though. Minions will, looks like, dismount him
Minions
now.
might dismount
Seismic
him,
Bean,
yeah.
gonna
Oh!
flash! Q knocked,
flash.
dodged there. So, flash is exchanged, but yeah, Egg Boy putting the hurt onto Seismic Bean so far. Okay, so topside we're going to see some trading, and Klushheiser about to remount. No brittle auto attack from Lippy as the final tick of the W was dodged. But Klushheiser remounted anyway. Never move hits onto Chad Penguin, but not in the position to do anything about it. Chad Penguin just queuing the wave so they can push it in faster. Opie misses the cannon.
Opie missing the cannon. Call him out.
TNT just throwing out these Ws. I don't know how many of those hits when he just throws them out, but they're pretty easy to get out of, so... I mean, I don't play Swain much anymore. I used to play him a bit, and I would always, like, pretty much never use my W unless I knew they were already slowed or CC'd somehow.
Yeah.
Here comes
Opie
Opie has to flash away. Instant exhaust, though, on the Chad Penguin. He does have his flash. Disengage ultimate
TNT.
comes out. TNT's ultimate is still going. He will. Ooh, but the ultimate
what the flash?
and the final tick is down. Why did we? Direct to camera took me top for some reason. This play's still happening. Nature Dan is all by himself now, though, in the middle of 3. He's going to look to maybe kill TNT. He does. Meanwhile, topside now we go. There was a charge, but Rengar is here. It's a Yordle versus a cat. It doesn't work. Buzz Aldrin gets the second kill of the game, so now 6-3 in kills for Raw. Opie getting his second kill on Jinx. Rengar getting his second kill, so...
Opie needs to back. He's going to try and crash this, but Chad Penguin's going to be here just in time to catch that wave, so it doesn't matter either way.
So the bright spot here for GIR early is the almost 30 CS lead for Coach Eggboy in the mid lane, and about 20 topside here for Klushheiser. But Rengar is very ahead himself, and the carries are even in CS about, but Jinx completing her Kraken Slayer after that last play. So that's a little bit of a power spike here as first dragon.
There's
the stolen Maokai ult coming out on the Eggboy. Not quite enough damage though, as Coach Eggboy actually does more damage to him in return.
Yeah, not quite a whole lot of damage when you get the Kindle Gem first.
Okay, some trading topside. Both top laners about half health. Does dismount Klushheiser, but he can remount fairly quickly when he has his W for all those attacks. Bot side, TNT is going to get a pull here onto Quadratic. TNT is going to get engaged on, and he ults, but he's too squishy right now. Buzz Aldrin, though, on the way out, gets a kill. We go back topside for a moment, and then back to bot. Thank you, directed camera, as so it's a 1-for-1 bot here. Kaisa getting her second kill. Ooh, Nature Dan! Oh! Has to flash away. One more auto from Jinx would have killed him after the Super Mega Death Rocket, so... that's going to give control of the river over to Raw for the first dragon of the game.
That's now 4 plates over to Eggy with a almost 30 CS lead, or 40 CS lead rather.
Yep.
So he's sitting at a nice 1200 gold lead on
Okay,
Seismic
Lippy
Beam
gets
right
engaged here on by Klugscheiser, whose Ignite is barely not up yet. Lippy should have a dash. Oh, but the Q connects.
now. Oh, the flash.
The
Silas
ultimate was
is
used
here
there
trying to
in
get-
haste, but... Yep, there's the
There's the TP from Eggy.
Ignite instantly onto Seismic Beam, who's gonna ult to try to get away, but he can't. So much burst damage from the Jace, who completed the Duskblade, actually.
Oh. Very interesting.
So a couple kills, or a kill, and a couple turret plates here top side is now that's going to bring the gold back to even. Klugscheiser gets his second kill of the game and looks for maybe a third turret plate. Good callouts here on the teleports have been pretty quick from both sides when needed so far this series. Although I think that Seismic Beam could have just kept a little bit more distance when the TP was coming in.
Opie's not going to miss that cannon minion this time. He says, I'm going to zap that
TNT
thing.
instantly gets ulted there after the root up, but here comes Balls Aldrin, and oh my gosh, that damage is already crazy on the Zyra. Jinx Rocket doesn't even actually give Jinx the assist. He was already dead by the time the rocket got there. Egg Boy goes in for a turret shot, so the trade's pretty even. Rift Herald's being spawned here, bot side, and there's a kitty cat in the bush!
Oh, there is
Buzz
the
Aldrin
cat.
is unstoppable. He's going to look for more, maybe. He's pretty squishy, so maybe doesn't want to fight the Maokai, but his teammates are here to help him. He does almost go down and give a shutdown over, but TNT instead getting his second kill of the game.
Which Egg Boy. Rocking the 1v1.
Yeah. But massive plays there bot side. Rengar 5-0, plus they also get first brick gold.
First turret, yep.
So we talked about this Rengar being kind of random and not sure if it fit in the team comp, but so far he's making the most out of it.
Yeah, like I said, it really just seemed like a pick to get in and murder the back line. That's literally because they have the tools to deal with the front line and just kind of hold them in. Oh, and sorry, I just completely talked over Opie getting murdered.
I was also eating
Bot
a
River.
bite of ice cream when that happened, but yeah, Opie I guess sticking around for some reason, getting caught out with the Killer Instinct from, I think it's called Killer Instinct, from Chad Penguin.
Yes.
So should have just gracefully accepted his death, but decides to waste his flash at the end of it too. So that's a bit puzzling, because you were going to die anyway. So now you also don't have a flash. Seismic Bean, ooh, maybe looking for a cheese onto Chad Penguin, but
Yeah.
50 CS down now on the Jace.
Quadratic catching out TNT.
TNT flashes away. Nature Dan comes in. Shock Blast misses. Otherwise, I think that he would probably be a dead Swain. He's going to get pulled in. Here's the cat. TNT gets the kill. Oh, and turret damage coming down on the Klugscheiser. So Lippy is going to try to chase this one down. Here comes the Call of the Forge God. But will he be able to remount? Oh, barely doesn't get the remount, which could have saved him. But the 1-for-1 there is too much turret damage taken by Klugscheiser. 12 total kills now for Raw. 18 kills, so more than a kill a minute overall.
I think if you see the charge, coming out from the Ornn, you want to not use any abilities there. He ended up taking turret aggro while he was popped up into the air because he threw the Q out.
Yep.
Nice little spectator bug of 2 million damage onto nothing.
Yep. So, second dragon is Ocean, which is going to spawn in about 10 seconds. And Raw, this game is closer so far at this point than it was last game, as by this point last game GIR was already starting to take over a little bit, but enjoying a quaint little about 1,000 gold lead here is Raw, as second dragon has spawned. Klugscheiser answers the turret score, so that's going to make it basically even gold. Both top... Actually, Klugscheiser not having TP, but if he needs to join a fight bot, he can ult there. Shock Blast is going to chunk out TNT. Lippy actually already TPing into the bot side, and there's the engaged Buzz Aldrin. Gets the kill! Walking
Still
out.
gets it.
Cool guys don't
The
look
red
at
buff.
explosions. Here's the trade AD carry for support, though. It's a 4 for 3 on the map. Klugscheiser's just going to keep pushing as they hand over the second dragon of the game. So Raw in both games getting the first 2 dragons. This time tempo is a little bit slower than it was last time, but Shiz McBean choosing not to teleport top. I think
Yeah,
he
I
could have
think-
saved the
I think-
turret.
Yeah, I think Bean uses TP there. I don't know why he held
But
it.
they're going to trade it back with the Rift Herald here mid. So
They might be able to get a second charge off here. Doesn't look like they're going to go for it,
too
though.
risky to stay with the recalls coming in, but so gold will still stay about the same with both turrets traded, but Raw 1 dragon closer to the soul, which will be a cloud soul, which is not always the most useful, but when you're like a Swain who gets that move speed after ulting, or Buzz Aldrin getting
Rengar.
Balls Aldrin getting the move speed,
Yeah.
being able to press R and just run you down from anywhere. Seismic Bean, even depending on what ultimate he steals.
Yeah, I was going to say
So-
also just anything that deals with the ultimates for the Silas is strong. So, you know, you take any one of those. Looks like
So
the
the,
Demolish proc is going to demolish the turret.
Yep. So now total even score of 3 turrets apiece, as all the outer turrets are gone.
Yeah, but as we see, once again, we have 2 heralds on the side of Raw, 2 dragons on the side of Raw. Same objective scores as last game. We'll see if there's any difference made.
Here's the TP into the bot side as they're trying to catch out Klugscheiser, whose ultimate is not going to be able to get him away. He is now dismounted, rooted, and a lot of damage coming out here from
Almost
the
gets the-
shock blast, but here's the stolen Kled ultimate as they're all going to run in here. Over the wall, Seismic Bean is able to follow him, and he gets the kill. And Swain is going to get bursted down on the other side of that, but it's a 2 for 1 overall. Health bars were pretty low on that second engage, so I don't know if that was warranted, but they still traded another 1 for 1 on that. The shock blast from Coach Eggboy initially on that bot catch out on the Klugscheiser was what made the health bars so low. But it is Seismic Bean's first kill on the game,
Look
and
for
he
a
did
kill
get
mid
it.
here.
Yeah, oh, Rengar is in the ultimate. But I don't know if he should do this. He's going to do it because he just does so
Looks
much
like,
damage. But
Oh,
it
he
gives
just gave
1,000
gold
shutdown to Chad Penguin.
Kaisa. Ooh.
Maybe he thought that with his Duskblade, if he could get the Assassinate and walk away, but he was rooted by Zyra in place, so he couldn't walk away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Giving the 1,000 gold shutdown onto Kaisa is...
Yeah, Kaisa's just going to complete the Rage Blade here. Yep.
and working towards the Nash's Tooth already.
Yeah, I was going to say, completes the Rage Blade and gets an entire recurve bow off of that.
Completes, I'm guessing, the E upgrade, which is the attack speed one, probably with that recurve bow, I'm assuming. But so still a couple hundred gold lead for. Ooh, Eggboy takes the turret shot, and Lippy is really tanky, so I actually don't know if he can win a 1v1 versus Chad Penguin. I mean Lippy, I don't know why I said that. Top side, Klugscheiser is going to get jumped on. He does have a lot of health, but he can't flash the wall. He will remount, though. Here's the
Balls Aldrin gotta be
flash.
careful. Ooh.
Balls Aldrin takes a lot of damage, but in the end, the kill will go over.
Yeah, it looks like Kaisa has upgraded Q and E right
Yep.
now.
Ooh. Chad Penguin flashing away. And flash forward from TNT, who's going to try to chase them down. Buzz Aldrin looking for Chad Penguin, but the ultimate is enough to save him.
Oh, no.
Little mistake there from Buzz Aldrin trying to find the weakened Chad Penguin who had no flash.
Oh, we're walking right into Quadratic here. Who just gets deleted.
Yeah, I mean, looked cool to hit them both with the ultimate, but against Jinx and Silas, you're just going to die instantly, so...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 2-item Jinx already, so...
There is no smite here for Raw, so this is risky. Here comes the charge from Kled, who's going to run in. The defensive Maokai ultimate comes in, and Call to the Forge God is massive. Look at all that damage on the backside already. TNT is super low, though. Seismic Beam goes in, Nature Dan goes down, Klugshizer goes down, Jinx is going to get the resets. Triple kill for Jinx. Coach Eggboy on the ward. And the rocket comes through! Quadra kill for Opie. Who looks like had just completed the spike on the Infinity Edge before that fight, which is now upgraded. So Ornn using his first upgrade on Jinx. So upgraded Infinity Edge for that fight was obviously worth it with that Jinx Quadra kill. They're going to turn it right onto the Baron. So now Raw will have their first significant gold lead of the series in Game 2. Aldrin goes low here, but they should be able to secure it. Great team fight starting off there with the Maokai ultimate stolen away from, or by Seismic Beam, and the Call of the Forge God right through the entrance to the river in that choke point. Basically hitting everybody, and that allowed the Jinx to pop off.
Yeah, the what is it? The Maokai ult from Seismic Beam, just catching everyone, and Ornn throwing the Ornn horn down and hitting them all just hanging out. Kind of ruined any chance they had of getting in there, and then they were all too low to even try to take the fight. Handing over a Quadra kill to Opie there. So that was...
It's not a massive gold lead, it's only 2.5k. But oh, well, goodbye, Zyra.
Yeah, see that's the Rengar pick for you.
Yeah. Jinx also hit her. Oh my gosh, Opie is godlike. I didn't know he would do that much damage. TP in from Seismic Beam as they're going to look to press the advantage with their Barons in those 2 kills. Not able to take the turret yet as they wait for the next wave. Lippy is pushing in the bot side as well, so attack on 2 fronts here. Going to give up this inner turret smartly. That's usually a bait to try to defend that one. The inhibitor turret going down. Our camera's not moving us there though. They can't take the inhibitor because the respawns came in. But now there will be a more significant gold lead, 4.5k with those kills and a couple of turrets.
Lippy dismounting Klug, taking almost 0 damage from him.
Yeah, he's at the point now with his he has his tabbies. Ooh, hope he has the flash there.
Good flash. Oh, Killer Instinct into a root. That was interesting.
Klugshizer just throwing the Ignite down on the Lippy. Yeah, with the Ninja Tabi, Sunfire, and the Seismic Beam is caught all by himself. W heal though is gonna maybe sustain enough, not quite. Coach Eggboy flashes out to safety, shutdown going to Maokai, but that's buying time as Opie and Balls Aldrin here are looking for a play. We'll get this inhibitor. Klugshizer trying to follow up on it though. Ult comes through. Here comes the Maokai ultimate as well.
Too strong.
TNT now has to sit in the front line. Klugshizer is really low. He's trying to remount. He can't. Opie goes legendary, but Jinx goes down. Quadratic and
Swain gets the return kill though on Chad Penguin.
Yeah, and here's the flash away. A never move should be coming out any time. There it is.
Yep, there it is.
Pull back, Nature Dan.
Recharging that bar there.
Quadratic barely making it out with a sliver of health. They're not going to be able to end off of this. Big shock blast on the TNT, but they will take another turret and maybe this other inhibitor. TNT has to watch out for another shock blast. Okay, he will walk away.
Good slow
So-
from the Rengar. Gives him a chance to get out of there.
2 inhibs now down. And a 5.5k gold lead.
And a Cloud Drake spawning just in time.
Yep, it'll be Cloud Soul in about 35 seconds. Buzz Aldrin not recalling to spend the gold that he's earned.
He's like, it's Cloud Soul. I got lots of time to run through the zones. Opie going top side.
Yeah,
Was it
taking the
just to
blue
get
buff,
blue,
which
or-
is interesting, but I mean, Jinx is the carry where I guess it's worth it so that you can always rock it
Yeah.
and not worry about your mana. So, Rengar does recall, so
Yep,
they're not
Rengar
there
does get
right
the
away
recall.
for the dragon to spawn, but there's no threat from GIR to take it immediately, so
Yeah.
It's
They're still
okay for
clear in
them to
vision,
wait.
so.
Buzz Aldrin's just gonna ult to see who's nearby, but they all decide to back away.
That's just free Cloud Soul.
Cloud Soul's, again, not game-breaking, but pretty good for most of the champs that Raw have, so...
Yeah.
But with 2 inhibs down, you know, if you fight and lose, like, they probably just run down and take the Nexus, so...
Right.
I like their decision to kind of play it safe a little bit. I think people try to force fights in PMLCS too often when they are in a position where they could seed something. So
Yeah.
I like the restraint, but there are not really going to be many other options for them to get back into it. Kai'Sa's going to
Kaisa
go
ulting
in, and we'll get one down. Chad
gonna
Penguin
get
is
the
going to go
kill.
golden. TNT also goes
So
golden.
does
Seismic Beam
TNT.
comes back in. Nature Dan is really low. He's not going to go down yet. It's actually working out in favor of GIR. It's a 3-for-1 out of nowhere.
Oh, and they're gonna ult.
And now
for
here
OP
comes
here.
ultimate. Oh, but the root from Quadratic is big. Egg Boy goes down because
Oh,
the
and Lippy-
crits are
Lippy's-
massive. This is the Lippy moment. He has one
You
kill.
win these,
Can he get
Lippy.
another?
He wins these.
He's not going to get the kill onto Nature Dan, but he can probably get the kill on
Oh,
the
he's definitely
Klugscheißer.
killing. Oh, okay, well, not if he gets the remount.
Oh, he walked away from the Q reset, I guess, but...
Yeah.
So a strange fight in the jungle.
Yeah.
Chad Penguin deciding to initiate just off of hitting a W, and
Yeah,
then
I think that was really interesting call. It ended up working out for him, but it was definitely interesting.
yeah, kind of using himself as an engaged bait with his Zanya or stopwatch, which is now upgraded to a Zanya's, so
Yeah.
he could delay, which bought enough time. OP was kind of split and didn't seem like he was able to contribute much damage, so they're able to win the fight without him. To note, though, OP has now completed the Guardian Angel, so that's a key item to track. OP is picking up the red buff bot while the rest of his team starts Baron, so that's interesting.
It's like TNT's in a
Ooh,
little bit of trouble
massive W, though, and he's going to try to not get completely 100-0, but doesn't matter. He does. Call of the Forge Guard only knocking up
Oh,
one. Here comes
here.
Rengar, though. And finally, OP is here now, so this is
Zanya's
where...
from Chad Penguin, and he's in trouble too.
Yep. OP got a assist, so he's able to finally get to the fight and get one
Oh.
reset.
The zap getting in. Oh, and that's
One
oh.
final rocket from OP is enough. It's a
and Lippy
4
was
for
bot-
2.
or Klug was bot. Sorry, Klug was bot.
with no teleport. He decides to go in, but he only gets the Ornn. He can't do anything to that.
Oh,
OP gets his
looks like
14th kill of the game, and that's going to even up the score 1-1, so we're in for a series here as Raw take game 2.
Wow. Yeah. some really interesting calls towards the end there. I think spending a lot of resources to kill the support at right in that last fight was not a great idea. Because it just allowed the re-engage from the Ornhorn. The Silas popped in. The Kaisa had to pop the Zanyas immediately, so she couldn't do anything. It seemed forced. They forced it. I think they needed to slow it down a little bit, get some Kaisa poke, throw the E's out, or throw the W's out. Get some poke in. That's the whole reason for going the AP build. You want to get some poking down before you go in. I think they just kind of forced it. I feel like they felt the pressure of the game ending, and they just kind of lost it.
Well, so my spectator is not letting us see the stats. But there we go. Now I have it. So Opie, not surprisingly, doing the most damage. Lots of damage from Jace as well. Rengar are actually doing the least damage on their team, but it was all in like one shots. There wasn't like sustained damage really. He was just one shotting his Zyra, who doesn't have any health, so there's not a lot of damage coming from that anyway. But
yeah, but notice the Zyra damage significantly less.
Oh wait, Klugscheiser and Lippy did almost the exact same amount of damage.
60 more damage.
I didn't see the 8 and the 2 difference. I was like, oh man, that would have been funny.
60 more damage on the orange side.
Which just came into them trading and beating against each other, but
really, yeah.
So good response from Raw. Really shout out to Balls Aldrin for that. I guess I wasn't confused by the Rengar, but I just didn't know like what to expect since we don't see it anymore, and I don't know if it matched the rest of their team. But he just got a couple early kills, and then he knew how to snowball it. So
yeah, I think.
And then it translated from there into Opie picking it up in the mid game, which is good because Opie needed to be their scaling threat. So Rengar was the threat early, and then they handed the reins off nicely to Opie from the mid to the end game for him to finish it out. So.
Right. Yeah, I think he played. I think Balls Aldrin played that exactly like I thought he would. Just use that to get rid of that Zyra. The threat of all of that CC from her is just. Somebody's asking for blue. Blue is asking for the score. It is currently tied at 1-1. We just finished game 2. So far, both wins on blue side. So if the trend continues, we will have a gaslighting victory, but maybe we can have a red side win.
Yeah, I saw a stat at Worlds. I don't know if it's held up, but like through I think the plains and like early part of Swiss stage at least, blue side was winning like an absurd amount of games. I think it was like over 80%, which is really imbalanced. Yeah. You would hope they would be closer to 50-50, but so I don't know if it stayed that rate or if it's come down since we've gotten into like past quarters now, but it seems like in general blue side is strong.
Yeah. I think it has a lot to do with the Baron being open towards blue side. It makes it a little easier to get in and disengage if things don't go the way you want it to. It's a little harder on red side to disengage from a Baron fight. Just because you got, walls everywhere on your side of the jungle. So I don't know if that's all of it, but, I think it definitely plays a big part into it.
So we'll see. One thing that's interesting over a longer series that we don't get in PMLCS often is like the evolution of pick ban phase. So we'll see if things like last game was quite a bit different, at least from Raw. GIR was mostly the same, or at least stylistically wasn't that different.
Yeah, I think the changes were in the go buttons. The go buttons were different for GIR in game 2.
Yeah.
I mean, you still had the Maokai, but as far as like top lane didn't really have a go button.
Yeah.
And I think that because they were kind of behind the go button from top lane wasn't as effective. Because when Kled goes in, he's in, and if the rest of the team isn't healthy enough or strong enough to help him out, then it's just kind of a loss from one button press.
I'm moving around the team names now, so I don't have to remember to do it in game. I put 1-1 on there this time, so people tuning in late will know what the score is. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Eclipse is bad on Kled by any means. I do think with the extended trades that he was taking, though, something a little bit more bruisery of a build might have been a nicer idea. Because I think the Ornn just got to a point where Kled was kind of killing himself fighting him. Yes, Ornn W go brr. Brr. Brr.
I was about to say maybe putting in an ad, but now I see an R from TNT.
We can put in an ad during the spectator delay.
Yeah, we'll do it this time.
Neil the Steel wants us to put an ad in him.
Oh. Oh, hey, NecroGuy11's in chat. Everybody say happy birthday, NecroGuy.
Happy birthday, Necro Guy.
I think it's his birthday.
All right, it looks like we are all readied up. Same first ban from Gaslighting. Or GIR. Let's see if we'll see the Ziggs and the Senna again from that side.
So game one on this side, Raw banned Swain. So we'll see if they decide to do that again.
They update ban. There's the
They
Swain
did,
ban.
and they also banned Tam Kench, which means Zareth is open.
Yeah, they left the Zerath.
Which is what they banned the first two games. Something Egg Boys played to big success this game or this season. The Ziggs ban is dropped. Looks like in favor of the Ornn. So
There's
some respect for Lippy. And GIR's just gonna go back to Maokai.
They're just gonna drop the Maokai again.
Which, I mean, so Balls Aldrin has had pretty big early jungle leads. Last game on the Rengar, able to translate that into snowballing in the mid game.
Mm-hmm.
Game 1, it was on the Amumu, so that's not the biggest impact to have a Amumu who's ahead versus a Rengar who's ahead.
Right.
So we'll see what they pick up this time. Ziggs is the first pick, so the first time it's not banned away.
They slam it in.
So we'll see. That is something that Malcolm could play mid. They could play it bot. So they have options. Nautilus is
The
going to be locked
Nautilus
in.
pick. Okay. Possibly a Nautilus Ziggs bot lane. Not too bad. You get locked down on one person, they pretty much die. All the burst damage that Ziggs has.
Yeah.
Plus Nautilus damage is no joke.
Okay, so they're also going to lock in the first time Xerath isn't banned. So both teams putting in those mages the instant they come available. Xerath just, it's pretty annoying to deal with, and Egg Boy is very practiced on it. Is really good at the skill shots. So you need to have
There's
like
a Morgana.
really long reach dive to get towards the Xerath. Morgana being picked there is kind of interesting, but you're gonna spell shield like a Nautilus hook. One thing, if it is going to be a Ziggs bot against something like a Morgana, it means the Ziggs can almost instantly get rid of the spell shield because it goes away. Obviously, magic damage will reduce it. So, like,
Right.
you don't
The
want to
Hex
be
field
against. Yeah, you don't want to be against a mage as Morgana because they can just instantly get rid of the spell shields as soon as you put it down if they hit you with an ability. So we'll see if that's what it turns out. Actually, it looks like it will because it's again the Silas locked in here by Raw. So that does mean it's going to be Ziggs bot lane. They're all magic damage right now, so we're going to have to see some AD from their jungle and top.
Yeah, there's all magic damage on both sides here, so we're gonna have
That
to
is true.
see some major changes.
At least for GIR, they still have an AD carry to pick, which is almost always physical damage versus on the other side. But
wondering if the Morgana is going to Nature Dan. Wonder
I
if
guess you
that is
could
a
with recent
possibility.
Morgana jungle buffs, and then you can Maokai
Yeah.
support or top. That would be a very interesting flex here. Kled and Vayne are banned away, which would bring, Vayne, obviously, from Chad Penguin, also Kled being a physical damage top laner. Balls Aldrin getting a respect ban from on the Rengar. And the Malphite there looks like it's going to be banned. No, actually, maybe the Jarvan, which I think is a smart ban because you're looking for any kind of physical damage from. Oh, there you go back to the Malphite. So something like a Jarvan I think makes sense here for Raw for Balls Aldrin. It gives them physical damage and in general it's just a strong pick. I mean you see it picked in Worlds constantly. So the
I
pros
wonder if
like
they
it.
wanted him to pick it, and that's why they hovered it, though.
I mean I don't know what you count. I mean you have Maokai or Morgana jungling, so I don't know if those are supposed to be like good champions against it, I guess, but I don't know. I think
Like Caitlyn. Yep, Caitlyn.
Caitlyn. I could see it being a Jhin, but he's just hovering everything right now.
Jhin Xerath is a strong lane, too, if they wanted to go that route.
Back to Caitlyn. Okay, I thought that was
There's
going to be.
Caitlyn.
So Caitlyn Morgana, one of the kind of best range, oppressive bot lanes. You get hit by Morgana Q, you get trapped, you're basically just dead, or
Right.
vice versa. So pretty classic bot lane that I think both these guys are practiced on. Now you're against the Ziggs, who is going to be able to just kind of sit back and throw bombs and wave clear. So hopefully he can not get hit by that CC. Blind pick Alawi is going to be the pick here from Klug Scheisser.
Yep. I was gonna say I don't think the Mord's a great pick. That gives you more AP. We don't want more AP right now.
So we could see the Urgot, which Lippy played in game 1, and ooh, the Garen.
There's
Okay.
Garen. This is another one of Lippy's comfort picks.
Yep.
So
hoping we would see more Garen at Worlds after it was played in like the plains from like Adam on BDS, and I think he wasn't the only one who played it, but anyway, it's just kind of, I mean, it's not like super technical. You get like flash Q, spin, ult, try to just do that over and over again
yeah,
to kill people, but it is, different to see than a standard tank matchup or whatever, so
yeah. Plus, it's not too it doesn't feel too bad into Alawi either. If she does manage to kill like the spectral thing, that you just kind of press W or Q and it doesn't matter. It's just like it's like, okay, I got slowed, but who cares?
yeah.
Yeah, Garen is just one of those champs that it feels bad no matter what. It's like, God, can I just kill this guy? Like, why does he always just get to run away?
Okay, now we're into champ selecting the client.
Probably a good ad time then.
So, Panda, if you would not mind opening up a prediction again for us. And I will go ahead and play an ad, so we will be back momentarily for game 3. Okay, anyway, ad should be over. I was getting up. I'm gonna get some water. But thank you, Panda, again for opening up the casino. So get your predictions in for Game 3.
I know I did.
I have not, because I am a completely unbiased caster who won't be swayed by my gambling.
Okay, make me seem like the bad guy. Okay. Good caster, bad caster.
Okay.
Right, pause it. 10.
Okay, let's change the scene real quick. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So flip Summoner's Rift again. Gaslighting isn't real on blue side. Going in raw on red side. 1-1 is the score. And ooh, we're not seeing a 5-point here for the first time. It is GIR or stacking. I mean, maybe predicting
Yeah.
This would be a good invade angle with Nautilus Hook and chains from Silas. So they're trying to just be smart about it, but there will be no invade.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually going to help Nature Dan this time around. I don't know. Might be too soon to to say that, but
Yeah. So Lippy had snuck in and got a ward in the blue buff just to see if he was going to start there. It's going to expire by the time he gets there, but they would just know if he's going to start there.
Looks like he's starting
Seismic
chickens. We might
Beam.
actually see some bot lane action pretty early.
Seismic Beam was looking for a ward to see if Maokai was starting Raptors again, it looks like, but he was dissuaded by Coach Eggboy. So I don't know if they
we
know
got some
for
action
sure.
bot.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. Both bot laners just sitting in the bush as they were not having to leash. So they just sat waiting for the hook. Because Jarvan started solo topside as well, so they're going to have that knowledge as they walk into Ziggs Nautilus at that time that they were not leashing for him.
Right, force Caitlyn to use her health pot already. Oh, a flash.
Ooh.
There goes Sums from Kate.
Quadratic actually getting level 2 before anybody else, so I think Chad Penguin flashing out as a minion died, so we missed some XP or something, I don't know,
Right. OP damaging the ground.
Ooh,
Oh, in a bad
ignites.
position.
Headshot, net, first blood. Opie just standing in front of the wave and getting point blank rooted by Morgana. With this combo, you can't do that because if you're hit by any CC, you get a net, you get a Q. Oh, Flashy was still getting hit by the knockback, or the hook, I mean. Not able to kill him. Meanwhile, Seismic Beam is low, having the flash, but looks like he will survive.
Falls Aldrin here.
Gets the flash
Oh.
knock up. The turret shot will kill him, so that's a 1-for-1.
Kill goes over to Morgana, though. So not terrible.
Gets the flash shot of Morgana. Chad Penguin already used his, so both flashes down. Bot are gone. That could be a repeat gank angle.
Okay, Chad Penguin does still have the ghost, though, so
Yeah.
interesting to run ghost. That's Oh, Eggy finding a sick angle on the stun there.
Yeah. So Seismic's Bean looking like he's going to recall and teleport back. Egg Boy's kind of low on mana. Here's Nature Dan looking for a gank, but just going to walk it out. The passive from Zareth able to get a little bit of mana back, but still pretty low. Binding from Morgana hits nothing. Seismic Bean just trying to hold a wave. And here's a gank here from Balls Aldrin.
Eggy, good flash.
Missed
saving his
timing on
life.
the EQ. He could have hit the flag and drag right as he was CC'd by the chain, but he waits an extra moment, so he's able to get the flash out. But regardless, still lots of flashes burned by the Jarvans, so he has lots of return gank options. Including bot side, which is maybe where they were looking there, but too much of a wave here in the turret, so they're just gonna play that a little slower.
Yeah, so far a lot more aggression from both sides in this early game.
Yeah. Look at this
I think
CS lead bot side already for OP. 16 minions at only 5.5 minutes is pretty crazy. So I don't know. If it was, or like where all that difference came from. OP getting a little trade. See, Morgana's spell shield prevents a bit of the damage from the Ziggs bomb, but it goes away instantly, and now you know that there's no spell shield for quite a while, because it's a long cooldown early. So if you're using that spell shield just to block some damage, then TNT is like, oh, well now I know you can't spell shield the hook for quite a while. But they're pretty safe right now.
Great angle on the.
Ultimates are available to both top laners. I'm not seeing anything used yet. Balls Aldrin maybe sneaking in here for a lane gank, but Maokai is also bot, so we're gonna see them maybe come in. Flag and drag. He goes right over the trap, so he gets rooted. Here comes Zareth, able to join the fight from behind the dragon pit with the ultimate. OP gonna satchel charge to safety. Caitlyn gets her second kill of the game. Morgana looking for flash
down.
away, but it's not gonna matter because the hook comes in.
Oh, Lippy in trouble.
So Klugscheißer uses the ultimate. Klugscheißer was maybe in execute range if he flashed Q, spin, and then ulted her, but she got quite a bit of health back from her ult. So Lippy on the run, but he's able to make it out.
Xerath, of course, super low on mana.
Yeah.
Of course, the changes did make early game.
Okay,
for
so
Xerath
Lippy
was
is
worse.
spinning to winning. Maybe had Klugscheißer close to execute range, so Klugscheißer preemptively flashing away. And it will instantly teleport back to lane, so there's a window here where you can gank Alawi when she doesn't have her ultimate or her flash. Lippy is kind of low and Jarvan is nearby, so that might be what they're looking for. Yeah, it looks like they are, so he's going to go right in, silence, knock up. Yeah, going to get instantly
Early
put. Ults, yeah, a bit early, but it doesn't matter. Jarvan actually getting the kill. So Klugscheißer also with no teleport now, which means can shove this in and is going to miss some XP and some gold. Lippy will look for the turret plate as well.
Yeah, the right after TP thing just feels the worst.
Yeah. Interesting to note here, Balls Aldrin with the serrated Dirk, so he's going to be going for like a glass cannon assassin kind of Jarvan, which personally I don't really like. I mean, you know, if you're able to get a combo down, you can do a lot of damage to Xerath or Caitlyn or whoever you get if they're squishy, but then you're also just going to die, I feel like, pretty instantly. So I would rather him just go for the standard kind of Gore Drinker, Spear of Sojin, whatever bruisery build, because the stats in those items are just pretty insane. You still get a lot of damage, but we'll see if the lethality works out for him.
Right. Looks like OP is just maintaining this 16 CS lead. 16, 17. You know?
Nice that Caitlyn got 2 kills, but still down a bit of CS. They have the push right now as Nature Dan is potentially starting the dragon. He is, actually. Jarvan might have been seen on this ward up here, so maybe they know there's an angle. He does this really slowly, though, without the help from his bot lane. So we'll see if there's an answer anywhere. But Balls Aldrin, again, just walking over this ward, so they know exactly where he's at. Looks like this will be a slow but easy dragon take here for GIR. Ending their early game objective woes this time is getting the first dragon of the game.
Oh, we got a flash.
Here's the flash hook. Instantly uses the spell shield, flashes, depth charge, and ignite damage is enough. TNT maybe has another hook, but they see they call out missing on Xerath, who's going to use the Rite of the Arcane, and the root from Maokai holds him down so he can get the snipe off from long distance. And that's what I talk about with the Xerath is, you know, they pinged that he was missing and could have been walking down, but even when you know he's coming, you can try to run towards your turret, he's still going to snipe you out. Seismic Bean steals the ult from Eggboy. If he has another chain, he might be able to go in.
Chad Penguin in trouble. Possibly?
He goes in for the Cataclysm, but he instantly...
Oh,
the damage is enough!
Ziggs TPing in.
Nature Dan gets knocked back by the satchel charge. More damage will kill him. Quadratic is going to try to kill Opie, but TNT cannot block the Dark Binding, so the damage is going to be enough. TNT
and
probably...
the Rift Herald kills the Morgana.
So the kill goes over to Jarvan. So an extended 3 for 3, I think, when it was all said and done. Rift Herald, I think, got a charge, but only got 1 plate. Or no, it mustn't have got a charge then, because it would have got more than 1. Because there's only 1 turret plate on bot lane.
Yeah. I think the charge is weak now. It doesn't just guarantee 2 plates anymore.
Oh, of course it charged, because I got the kill. Duh, I'm stupid.
Yeah. It doesn't guarantee 2
Chad
plates
Penguin
anymore.
is in danger right now. No flash. Gonna get instantly rooted and blown up.
And there's that damage I was talking about. If you get hit and locked down by the Nautilus, the Ziggs just murders you with all the damage he's got.
No Morgana spell shield, and TNT was able to just walk right at him to get the... Doesn't even have to risk missing the Q, because he just walks in, autos him, and roots him in place, and then hits him with the Q. So nicely done there. 3-3-3 on the equal scoreline for OP so far. Oh, he gets rooted, and he gets turret aggro. Meanwhile, Coach Eggboy goes down to Balls Aldrin. Seismic Bean flashing away. Turret shot is enough, though. That's a lot of damage.
OP with the respect in all chat.
Yeah, nice play. The Morgana root hitting him, he took turret aggro from hitting Morgana with some damage, so he took turret shots while getting ace in the hole from Caitlyn. So... pretty crazy.
Flash away.
Lippy flashing for the ultimate. Oh. Not enough damage. Oh. You hate to see it.
I feel so bad.
Teleport from Silas.
He's going to pick up the kill. All right.
Yep. He's a little deep
Doesn't
right
feel
now.
as bad.
Teleport from Coach Eggboy. Directed camera doesn't want us to see it, but here's Balls Aldrin as well, who's going to come in and look for Coach Eggboy, but he doesn't get the knock up. Puts Nature Dan in the Cataclysm. But Seismic Beans is saying, what are you doing? I'm trying to get out of here. Coach Eggboy very smartly saving his ult until Nature Dan gets the root to guarantee that it's going to hit.
Oh, the
Seismic Bean,
prediction.
ooh, nice shot there. Double kill for Coach Eggboy. We talked about how well versed he was on this Zareth. Even though he's good at the skill shots, he also knows when to wait until they're going to be a guarantee, so you don't even have to risk it. Ace in the hole just for some damage on the Opie. And
For those just tuning in, this is
gonna get the flash away.
Series.
Quadratic takes all the damage. Opie and TNT take some Caitlyn damage, but they're gonna walk out of that one. Meanwhile, Klugscheiser is gonna go ahead and ult here. He has the Test of Spirit and Garen in range, so gets 2 tentacles, forces Lippy off, who does not have his teleport. Jarvan is nearby though, and there's no teleport anymore on Klugscheiser. I mean, ultimate, on Klugscheiser. But Lippy does not have his ultimate yet either, so you have to wait for that.
Alright, looks like about 10-15 seconds left on Lippy's ult. Gonna get some health back.
Here comes Balls Aldrin. He misses the knockup, but does just put him in the Cataclysm. I don't know if there's an ultimate yet from Lippy, but they don't quite need it.
It was there, he didn't need it though.
Balls Aldrin gets his 5th kill of the game. So is getting some kills, which is good, because if you're going to go Glass Cannon, you need to get as many kills as possible to keep the damage up. So Lippy gonna push in this turret. Opie gets hit by the long range binding, but it's too far away to take any more punishment. There's another binding there, and here comes the right of the arcane here straight away out of Coach Eggboy, who 3 for 3, like fish in a barrel, takes down Opie. Flash bind from Quadratic is flashed away by TNT.
Yeah, Necro, I'd completely agree. No ult, no sums, just walking up. No vision. Gives over a kill.
So that's the 2nd dragon of the game now for GIR. Coach Eggboy is in a little bit of a tough spot here. Dodges the chains. Dodging everything. Dodges the knockup. Unfortunately, because he's walking the wrong way, there's nowhere to go. But it looks nice.
This man turned on the scripts.
600 gold shutdown, though, for Seismic Bean. And there's the 2nd Rift Herald. Raw losing both dragons, but getting both heralds. Nature Dan ulting in, but gonna get put in the Cataclysm. He's pretty tanky already.
Just outside the turret range.
Yeah, he's tanky already, but in the bouncy castle there, Klugscheiser on the backside now, but Lippy also joins. There's the ultimate. Klugscheiser maybe gets a big ult off here. If she can ever get it off. Finally, she does. 3 tentacles, but she goes down instantly. Meanwhile, bot side Quadratic and Opie fighting it out. Another bomb finishes that one off. Chad Penguin here in the mid lane is ghosting. He has the speed, but he has to flash to safety. The turret is enough. Right of the arcane opening up here. Not quite enough damage to finish off Lippy, and Seismic Bean dashes out of the way.
A lot of action going on right now.
Oof. So all those blinking red health bars there for Raw, but they're going to make it out. They will lose this turret though, because they have to give up.
Doesn't matter, they already got 2 turrets. I think they're willing to give one up.
So as we are now at 30 kills at 18 minutes, so really high kill game this time so far. Still about 2.5 minutes away from the next dragon. This is an Infernal Soul, so this is a more impactful Dragon Soul than we've had the last 2 matches. So GIR have set themselves up nicely for that one, even though they are down a little bit in gold. But it's only 1.5k, so it's not that big. Zig's able to just walk up and W the turret.
Yeah, this game a lot more hyphy than game 1 and 2.
Raw grouping up together here to get down some vision inside the jungle of GIR. Ultimate's being used here, top side. Klugscheiser ulting Lippy. Satchel Charge knocks Nature Dan in. Ooh, the Bramble Smash interrupts the Flag and Drag from Balls Aldrin, but Cataclysm on the 2 puts them into massive AoE range for the Ziggs. Seismic Beam on a killing spree. That's 3 kills already for none. And Egg Boy's opening up the ultimate, but he's not going to find any more kills. Top side now, Lippy and Klugscheiser going at it. No ultimate for Klugscheiser. TNT is going to get the hook on Coach Egg Boy, who does have his summoner spells, and nobody else on the team is in close enough range to follow up. TNT takes some damage on the way out. But that will be the end of the fighting in the bot jungle, which is really fought over nothing. But Dragon is up in 1 minute, so there will be a objective to contest. OP going for straight up Rabadons, it looks like. Second item, not able to complete it before Dragon. So nobody on the side of Raw is at 2 items. And looks like nobody on the side of GIR is at 2 items. Oh, I stand corrected. Egg Boy just bought his Horizon Focus. So 2 items on Xerath. Is the first player in the game with 2 as this important third Dragon spawns. Balls Aldrin actually finishing his second item as well. He went Spear of Sojin second. So he's not going complete like just lethality, but Caitlyn picking up her Infinity Edge as well. So and the Rabadons is finished for OP. So I guess I just needed to wait 20 more seconds for a couple more items, and Black Cleaver for Lippy as well. So
yep.
So this will be Infernal Soul Point for GIR if they're able to connect it. Klugscheiser is recalling, but he has teleport. OP is collecting the mid wave, and then he will come down to join as Seismic Beam shoved in the bot wave. So he's on a flank angle right here. He stole Xerath ult. I think it would have been better to steal Maokai's ult in that case for this fight, but so Dragon is started up by GIR. They have complete control on the pit. Malcolm opening up with the stolen Xerath ult, just doing a little bit of damage, but not much impact out of that one. And TNT is going to walk into some traps and get instantly deleted. They do secure the Dragon for it. Now the fight continues. Opie running away, gets sniped away by Xerath. Chad Penguin able to stay away from Balls Aldrin. He's running him down now. Gets the kill with the last auto attack. He's still running him down with the lethal tempo and the ghost. He will be slowed by the Q. It's a 3-for-1, but the Dragon does go over. Oh, Seismic Beam's not done. He gets the kill. He's dominating. That's the 7th kill of the game.
Meanwhile, Klug top lane just pushing away.
Yeah, that was all a 4v5 as Klugscheiser was pushing top, so this turret probably will go down as we're watching the blue buff get stolen. Now go top. Yeah, the turret is going to go down here. Lippy and Klugscheiser are going to fight it out. Another ultimate out of Klugscheiser, but the turret has been secured. So all in all, the fight favors GIR, but it was the Dragon secured by Raw. So they will prevent the Dragon Soul stacking for now.
So nice attempt by Quadratic to steal away that scuttle from red side.
So now as Baron is the
right,
most accessible objective up, other than this bot lane turret that Klugscheiser is easily going to smash down here. So Raw are securing all the vision in the river here around Baron. But they're not going to try to force it right now, as they're maybe looking to find a pick around mid lane. Ooh, they have a little bit of a death bush here. Eggboy's close. Oh, Death Charge comes out right away, but the nice spell shield from Quadratic prevents the knockup. Here comes the stolen Maokai ultimate, which will lock down Maokai. Cataclysm comes in. Quadratic goes golden to stay alive. Some bombs are coming through now. Quadratic still is not dead, but here comes Seismic Bean and Lippy. Still nobody is dead yet. How is this possible?
no.
Coach Eggboy somehow gets a snipe. Ace in the hole secures it. And somehow Chad Penguin and Quadratic make it out on slivers of health.
Another 5v4, and GIR just wins it. Just takes it, disengages appropriately, uses that turret advantage, and just gets a couple return kills.
Yep. So top side, the bot side. I mean, the turret does not go down, but he does force them to answer it. And on the other side, Nature Dan and Eggboy have started this Baron, but they are going to do it really slowly. Here comes teleport from Opie, as he is going to do a lot of damage to Chad Penguin already. So they're going to have to push off of this one, I think. They're not yet. This is extremely risky from GIR. I would not be doing this right now. Quadratic is in and dead, and now Nature Dan has to finally realize he needs to get out, and he will.
Uh-oh. Klug.
Meanwhile, bot side was not watching. Lippy almost gets solo killed there trying to defend the turret.
That's what I mean, that Garen is so annoying. You think, oh, I got him, and then he just runs away with 50 health.
Klugscheiser is going to get killed for taking that turret. Dragon is spawning in 1 minute, but Klugscheiser will be spawned in time, so... This fight is... this game becoming a real banger here is... so we're at 25 minutes. Oh, TNT going to take some damage. But, oh, there's the turnaround. Gets knocked up. Lippy is in there for the shutdown. Doesn't even have to use the ult. That's a pretty big pick there. He will spawn right as Dragon does, but he won't be able to be there to set up any traps or anything before. And they might not be done looking for picks here as they're looking for more, but they will get spotted out by Quadratic. Klugscheiser teleporting top, so he is completely invested in the split push now, as actually I see he has bought a Hull Breaker second. So they will be able to really 5v3 this Dragon if they start it on spawn, since Caitlyn won't be able to be there. I guess deciding giving up a second Infernal isn't the end of the world, since they have so long until they can get to Soul anyway. So Klugscheiser getting this top wave pushed in, but there will be recalls in time to stop it from getting to the inhibitor. If he decides to now push on the bot side with the open inhib he left there, it means he will be without teleport to join if Baron happens, but looking on the minimap, he is actually running back top, so he will not be doing that.
Yeah, the second Raw starts winning these 5v4s, it spells a little bit of danger for GIR.
Yeah.
Just because that... I think the Hull Breaker just kind of loses some of its value when you're being pushed into your base and you have to be surrounded by your teammates.
Right. So now Raw are kind of grouping around mid. Opie looking for execute there and missing a lot, but still taking Penguin and Quadratic down to half health. Meanwhile, topside, Klugscheiser is getting collapsed on. He goes down before he's able to get the ult off. Lippy will survive the Rite of the Arcane from Coach Eggboy. So it is a 1-for-0 here as Seismic Bean goes over the wall. Just steals Maokai's ult and walks away. With this turret taking power now of Ziggs and this whole team grouped up, maybe they're going to force down this mid turret. Although it's kind of hard to siege against all this range.
Right.
Especially when Xerath can basically clear the wave instantly. TNT is going to get stunned up. He's going to turn around and put the hook. Here comes the stolen Maokai ultimate down. It does hit Nature Dan, but the team does not want to fully engage off of that. So yeah, even with the Ziggs, they're not able to force down the mid turret because of all this ranged wave clear of the Caitlyn Xerath.
Man, could you imagine if this was an Ocean Soul map? Either one of these teams would thrive on Ocean Soul. All the poking that's going on both sides, it's like
Yeah.
you just need some, just a little bit more sustain potential, and
So Klugscheißer back to his split pushing. His teleport will be up fairly soon, so both top laners will be able to teleport if they want to. Here comes the Mega Inferno Bomb, which took out most of Quadratic's health. We didn't quite see it on the screen. So Lippy and Klugscheißer are still going at it bot side here. Lippy getting the Mortal Reminder helps shred Klugscheißer, plus it means that there's less healing, but still not able to stand in there and take everything with the... Oh my gosh, and...
oh wow.
On a ward, Balls Aldrin just gets completely one-shot. Here comes the Rite of the Arcane, flash, twisted advance from Nature Dan, and Egg Boy takes down Ziggs. Meanwhile, on the other side, Seismic Bean gets a kill of himself, but Chad Penguin is now here to start running them down. Nature Dan takes down Seismic Bean on the other side. It's a 4-for-1, and they're going to go straight onto the Baron. Top bot side where ultimate is already back up again for Klugscheißer. Did not know that. I mean, I guess he has some ability haste. I didn't know it was that low of a cooldown. As Baron is going to be taken here for free after winning that massive 4v4. Klugscheißer now pushing into this inhibitor, and will get it. So they win the fight. They get Baron. They take the first inhibitor of the game. And the first significant gold lead of Game 3 is now in the possession of GIR. 30 seconds before third Infernal Dragon, so it will not be soul for either team. Klugscheißer instantly teleporting top.
He's like, this is my new lane, here I go.
So Lippy is now going up there to join him, but again it will be a 4v4 it looks like. Seismic Beam goes right in on a Quadratic who instantly has the Zhonya's. Lots of AoE coming in. Here comes the Mega in front of him. Quadratic is down.
My.
Ultimate from Xerath comes out. Cataclysm. Chad Penguin is able to get over the wall. Balls Aldrin goes down. OP is sniped again by Coach Eggboy. TNT and Seismic Beam are now alone, but they can't fight this fight. Double kill there for Caitlyn. Lippy again pushed away by Klugscheißer on the top side. This long-range damage from Eggboy off of the follow-up of Quadratic and Nature Dan is just too hard for them to handle. And Lippy can't take a 1v1, so they're winning the team fights, they're winning the split push. GIR's just taking everything.
They're gonna get mid lane, second tier. I think Klug just stays top while they're pushing this mid.
Yep, so the respawns are now in, but they're not going to be able to get there in time to defend this inhibitor, so it's triple inhib at least for a short time.
Yep.
I know the bottom inhib will be spawning probably before too long. Luckily for Raw, there's no major objective in the next multiple minutes, so they're not in danger of losing Dragon or Baron while they're waiting out these inhibs to spawn. So I guess for now it's just play it cool and collect waves and farm. But now Caitlyn and Xerath are on 4 items, so this mega long range comp when you go a squishy or Jarvan build and you have somebody like Ziggs, who, if gets locked down by Maokai or Morgana, will just get blown up instantly from the long-range damage. Raw are still in the lead as far as kills overall, though, 27 to 26. Even
Right.
though now they're down all these objectives. Opie is just going to get ace in the hole and killed
Oh,
without
wow.
the
So
Xerath ult
annihilated.
even needed. Balls Aldrin will get rooted up. There are no more Xerath shots.
No, but look at the
TNT
Caitlyn
basically getting
damage.
two-shot. Unstoppable
Caitlyn
as
damage
he
is
kills
too much.
Silas. Garen goes down. Blink of an eye, the Nexus is gone, and that's now 2-for-1 in favor of GIR. I didn't expect that to close out as quickly as it did, as close as that game was for so long, but
Right.
that one team fight that GIR won and then immediately got the Baron off of it just seemed like
Oh,
it was
man.
just enough of a spike they needed that.
The damage graph.
Oh, I joined the
Eggy and Chad about 89 damage away from each other. Sitting at the top of the damage charts.
I just got straight into champ select. So or to the lobby, I mean. So okay, so GIR gaslighting isn't real. Now on match point. Win one game and the championship is theirs, but it'll be on Raw to close it out with 2 straight.
Mm-hmm.
Win this one to force Silver Scrapes in Game 5.
Yeah, I think it was really important to note that they were like, let the Ziggs through, let them get the Ziggs. And then they're like, we'll just outrange them. That's what I was talking about earlier. But on the opposite end of things, I thought that when Chad Penguin picked the Vayne, they should have looked for more range in the bot lane to just keep Vayne at bay. So even though Ziggs has so much range, I mean, we saw at the end there, Xerath just opened up the unlimited power or unleashed power or whatever it is, just like, what could Ziggs do? Pretty much nothing. There was the ace in the hole, followed by one of the Xerath ults, and then one auto attack, and Ziggs died. That was like, yeah, it was, so they have to kind of think about if they're going to let something through, then obviously they have some kind of answer for it, right?
Yep. So once again, swapping sides. So each team that's had the choice has gone with blue side each time, and blue side is 3-0 in this match. So no reason for that to stop now. We go back and change these.
Yeah, like I said, if the trend continues, we know who's going to take it home. But so it's just going to take one victory on red side for someone to just claim it all. So I just have to be able to pick, use red side to its intent, use it as a counter pick side, right? You want to focus on getting whatever counter picks you can in whatever circumstances you can.
Yeah, so GIR having counterpick, what's most important for them? I guess I would say probably Chad Penguin. I would think, Egg Boy also with counterpick should be able to control matchups, but like they've been able to pick him early and still do fine, so it seems like it's not super important Well, I guess game 1 they didn't pick him early, but game 2 and 3 they picked him earlier. Or not even game 2 because that was Jace. Damn, I'm stupid. Last game they picked him early on the Xerath. But anyway, I think Chad Penguin getting the counter is the most important one on their team. Maybe Klugscheiser. So saving
Yeah,
one of those two. But
I think Eggy is consistently doing a great job. Not to say that Seismic Bean is not doing a great job, but I think Eggy is just being consistently that guy in this mid lane matchup right now. So I think if you put your focus more towards your 2v2 bot lane, you focus on getting two people ahead.
right.
I think that's the way they're going to snowball this counter into winning. The score is 2-1 in favor of GIR right now, Maye.
Okay,
This
so I
is
believe
game 4.
getting into game 4. I believe we're ready. Looks like bans are about to start. And they have. So Raw not letting the Xerath go through again after that game. Like, nope, back to that one. So
Ross says, "No, thank you, ma'am. We will put that back on the ban chart."
yep. So the Nocturne ban it's obviously something that Balls Aldrin is comfortable on, but also it's like specifically for last game, they probably were going to ban it anyway, just because it seems like that's what they're doing every game. But it's also extremely good against like one of the number one Xerath counters is Nocturne, being able to just turn off the lights when he ults, and if you have him in vision, just dive on him since he can play so safely, being able to just jump on him with Nocturne. So that's a smart ban for the Xerath, even though they're not getting the Xerath again, I'm sure, the series.
Right.
But anyway, the other bans look pretty standard for what we've seen this series, as Swain was again first picked for Raw, just like it was in
Yep.
game 2.
Raw goes right back to that, the pick they had that success on in support. It felt really strong. It felt like even when he was getting blown up, he was doing enough damage so that his team could finish off kills in team fights.
Yeah. We could see a Caitlyn Morgana again from GIR with the early Morgana picked. It's always just a strong lane, and even though it didn't seem like they were popping off at first, but they were at least able to trade enough kills, and then late game, once Caitlyn had a couple items, was just like instant killing people with a headshot. So Maokai again for Nature Dan, so he's fine on the Maokai duty, it looks like.
He is in Maokai jail. This is game number 4 for him on the Maokai.
I'm seeing a Sivir hover for OP, which we saw hovered in game 2, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it is locked in. So tons of wave clear. You should never really get the push against her, and then having her own spell shield to block a Morgana Q or something like that, just to make sure you can't get compounded if they do decide to go Caitlyn. We'll have a bit of a range disadvantage against the Caitlyn.
Looks like they're putting Nature Dan on. The Kha'Zix.
Ra going to Kha'Zix. Okay, so Balls Aldrin popped off on the Rengar assassin game 2, so Rengar's still up, but he chooses to go for Kha'Zix this time.
Right. I wonder what the thought process was behind that one.
I don't know if it's game 2 there wasn't a Morgana, so I don't know if it's like you're afraid that as soon as you leap out, like Morgana's gonna bind you and then you can't do anything. Maybe, I don't know. So maybe
That's
he just
fair. He did
wanted
have some trouble with the Zyra rooting him up.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just looking to get the use the camouflage to his benefit in this case.
Yep. So into the second phase here, Silas banned away has been banned or picked, I think every game.
Yeah.
Seismic Bean playing it I think 2 games in a row, and the other 2 games it's been banned. Banning away the Garen. I think Lippy had some good moments on Garen earlier on, but once Klugscheiser got the hole breaker, Lippy wasn't able to stand up to the Alawi anymore, but still respect banning it. Jay's taken away from Egg Boy, who even though they lost on it, he looked pretty strong on it. And Malphite taken away from Klugscheiser. So you have to blind pick either your mid or top here. Rumble is interesting. It could be, so I guess that's a flex. Could be Rumble mid. I don't know.
I feel like that's definitely Klug.
I,
Klug loves the Rumble.
oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
if
one of
he's been
his
playing it.
pocket picks. He was playing it in MCR and had some good success on it.
Okay.
So it looks like a Scion answer to the Rumble.
Okay. So just a frontliner there with Orin Malphite gone. Think you have enough damage with the rest of your comp, so they just want a meatball. Sign was maybe the best one that was still up. Zillion.
A Zillion is that the Egg Boy Zillion?
No, that would be, well, if it's
I
mid, it's
don't know.
Seismic Bean,
I don't know.
because Egg Boy's on the other team.
Oh, Egg Boy's on the other team, right? Yeah. Huh. So is it the Swain mid?
Could be Swain. Well, Zillion mid. I don't know if Seismic Beam plays it. Would he be more likely to play Swain over Zillion mid? Maybe. But I just
Oh,
think.
the Eggy Akshan. Okay. So we got a couple
Oh.
revive options in this game. Revives and second lives, right?
Yeah. So Egg Boy Auction is one that I don't know if he plays it as much in PMALCS as he used to, but he's still, I think, known for it. The Zillion pick is just interesting because I don't know how much Seismic Beam plays it. Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm just
It looks
getting
like Raw's just going for a Zumi
invites.
comp right here. They just want to run in really fast. You know, kind of negate the range of the Caitlyn.
Yeah, I mean, it's so with Sivir move speed and then if Zillion speeds somebody up, I guess. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Scion ult. The use. I'm honestly, I think the Scion ult is super good against the Maokai, just because when the Maokai starts, doing the brambles or whatever it is, the ultimate, he can just charge right through it. Cut out a section of the ultimate. His team can funnel through that section behind him.
yeah.
It's a nice little interaction that you can just cheese.
I just wish there was more like high percentage, like almost guaranteed CC from Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I guess you didn't know the auction was gonna come until because it was last pick, but so looking at like so you need to be able to get onto and hold down Caitlyn in auction. Now that's not as annoying as trying to get on top of a Xerath, so that's nice.
Right.
But I still think you kind of need to dive these guys, and I mean I guess Kha'Zix can kind of ult in and try to jump on him. Maybe Scion gets an ult that'll get him deep enough, but other than that, like most of the time I feel like Kha'Zix is going to be trying to go in by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Which maybe
Yeah, I
if
wonder
Zillion
if
is close enough to revive him if he goes in and dies, but I feel like it's just going to be hard for this team to get onto Caitlyn Morgana.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to plan for the Kazakhs in team fights. Like, Does he go after the Morgana, like how he kind of focused the support in Game 2 when he would take out the Zyra, that kind of thing? But you have to think about the Akshan because you don't want to kill the Morgana and then get murdered by the Akshan, and then Morgana's just back in the fight.
Yeah.
So I think he has to look for Akshan in most cases, but Akshan's got such good disengage with the grapple, like it's just it's a tough call. So we'll see if Balls Aldrin can execute the Kha'Zix well enough, because he did really well on the Rengar. But yeah, I'm excited to see how these team fights go.
So we do see Seismic Beanlocks in the Swain, so it is a support Zillion. It's just interesting because Swain is an iconic TNT champion that I would just assume he would always play it, but
Right. And I feel like the Zillion is almost stronger against the Akshan. But I don't know. Maybe not.
well, I'm gonna go ahead and do another ad just to get more free revenue for PMLCS.
I'll give you a hard candy.
Oh, that's my fault. I totally forgot that I have this thing in my mouth. Anyway, I'm gonna do an ad. Thank you for the Game 4 prediction, Panda, and we'll be back in a moment. Okay, I don't know when the ad ended because I only had like one ad on my phone, so if you can hear me, yay. Okay, so we're gonna be getting into game 4. Refilling my water. Ugh.
Yes, place your bets now.
Oh yeah. Prediction is open, so make sure you get those in. I haven't been paying attention to who's winning points and losing points, but don't gamble, kids. Unless you're Neil the Steel, because that guy, I feel like I always hear about Neil hitting on his sports bets. So Neil can
That's
gamble.
why they call him Neil the Steel. Not because he's a jungler. Because he never steals anything.
Alright, are you in game?
Yes.
Are you at 10?
Not quite.
Guess I
And
should
now.
change the scene. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
This is our worlds. Thank you, Dead Pixel, for tuning in. After sending me a game invite and me rudely yelling at you. Just kidding, I didn't. But
Okay, so just a 5-point we're looking at here. OP and TNT going double defensive options bot with OP on heal and Zillion on exhaust. So they're both cowards.
ouch, DBW with the hurt in the comment section.
Only worlds in any team will see. Hey, we made it to quarterfinals. Oh, I guess
Hey, it's improvement, right? There were no EU teams in quarterfinals this year.
Okay. So Balls Aldrin getting a leash, and once again Nature Dan soloing out his Raptors. So he's done that, I think, every game so far. Again, Balls Aldrin has built up an early camp lead each game, so we'll see what he does with it this time.
Looks like Red Side just putting the pressure on already in every lane. The directed camera doesn't know what to do because there's just fighting everywhere.
Yeah. So a big stun there onto Klugscheiser, but Lippy has to eat the Flame Spitter the entire time he's charging it, so...
Yeah, that's the nice thing about picking the Rumble into the Scion is you can just say, yeah, I don't care about your Q. I'm just going to keep my Q facing right into your face. And ultimately, the DOT should be more, especially once they have items. But obviously, Klug going the more offensive approach in the top lane versus Lippy's Doran's shield.
TNT getting the double bomb stun on Quadratic, but doesn't do that much damage, and TNT also losing health and mana, so...
Aggie just being oppressive on this Akshan pick.
Yeah.
Although I think he's focusing more on hitting Seismic and less on farming.
Okay, we're going to see the first gank. Instant flash here out of Klugscheiser.
It is 2-1 in favor of Gaslighting Isn't Real.
So, the gank there from Balls Aldrin, getting the flash, maybe a little bit of breathing room there for Lippy, but still going to get pushed in pretty hard. Seismic Beam not going
being in a
teleport.
terrible position right now.
He misses the E, but
Oh,
that
we'll
turret
dive the
shot
minion.
didn't. Oh, the minion.
The minion,
Wow.
yep. Yeah.
Meanwhile, here, Chad Penguin decides not to flash and get a final kill over the wall because he probably would have just died to the turret. So, super low health bars for Opie and TNT, but nobody will die. They will have to recall those, so they're going to lose a bit of minions and XP there.
That time Klug turned the flame spitter away.
So Summoner's blown, but kills are even 1-1. And nobody died bot. See if Kha'Zix wants to turn up down there. Sivir and Zillion should be able to get the push now, because all the wave clear that Sivir does. Plus, like, if Zillion tries to bomb somebody and the bomb hits the wave, like, that'll help in controlling the wave too. So I feel like Sivir and Zillion should be able to control the push on the lane now. We'll see if they actually do. Coach Eggboy going in on Seismic Beam because he has the ultimate and Malcolm does not. Doesn't use it yet, but he takes out almost all of Swain's health.
The
Lippy
flame
13
spitter
just
damage.
deciding to stand there. Yeah, and the empowered autos from
From the overheat,
from Rumble
yeah.
when he overheats, yeah. Took both of that, so. Right now, just, yeah, complete control from mid and top of GIR. Equalizer was used topside, it looks like. We didn't see it on screen.
Oh.
Balls Aldrin going over the wall. Egg Boy just does enough to Seismic Beam to burst him anyway.
Yeah, I think it was greedy of Seismic Beam to go in, too.
And now Lippy, no teleport, already down 20 CS, but he just kind of has to set under his turret. He can't recall because he'll lose more minions and XP since he can't TP back. So it feels pretty bad for the Scion. TNT hit with the roots, and Quadratic just going to walk up and flash auto with the ignite. It will tick him down. OP gets the boomerang through a couple, but Chad Penguin flashing forward.
Oh.
Getting the snipe, and Chad Penguin getting to net away from Balls Aldrin, so there's no return threat. Vision of Empire from Swain will do a little damage, but not able to kill him. We also have Maokai, and Auction was helping him on the dragon, so last couple of games were fairly close in the early game, but this time GIR looking like they're coming out really strong in the early minutes. So they have their eyes on their third victory. And we'll see if Raw is able to bring this one back. It's PMLCS and it's early, so anything can happen, but 2,000 gold at 8.5 minutes is pretty significant.
Yeah, Tizzy brings up a good point earlier, or brought up a good point earlier of, you know, well, he said, you know, you drafted 3 losing lanes and a Kha'Zix, but it's like, well, yeah, that's essentially what you should do with your draft on red side, is you should be able to draft your winning lanes. I don't necessarily think that.
Klugscheiser is here, puts down the equalizer.
Ooh.
Here comes the engage from Lippy 13 as well. A slow from Swain from long range, and Nature Dan will finally go down. Buzz Aldrin gets a kill, and Seismic Bean in the Demonic Ascension. That's 2 kills now for the Kha'Zix. Egg Boy is by himself, and he will not be able to get the kill on the
Failed
Seismic
flash.
Bean. Triple kill for the Kha'Zix is gonna what Buzz Aldrin needed to get going. And just like that, they're able to make a turnaround play and get back into this early game. It's also an early Rift Herald.
This should bring the gold lead back to almost exactly even. Catching these waves. Yep. Catching the waves in the Herald, it brought it to the exact same thing. Yeah, Raw has been having better success with Balls Aldrin on the Assassins, or on some kind of carry jungle.
So Quadratic taken fairly low here with a couple of boomerangs, but Opie is now pretty much out of mana, so the poke is going to let up after that one, which gets him really low. Coach Eggboy waiting in the wings. The Never Move will not connect.
And like I was saying, in Champ Select, it's winning on red side really comes down to, do you actually pick the counter matchups well, and do you execute them well? So essentially,
Okay, so the gank here is in for Nature Dan onto Lippy 13. He's tries to flash to ult away, but Nature Dan ults flashes right in front of it before he can, and he just gets completely melted. Klugscheiser gets his first kill of the game. Meanwhile, mid Coach Eggboy here, dashing away to safety. Balls Aldrin still trying to get the kill, not able to do so, and Seismic Bean will block the ult to make sure Balls Aldrin doesn't go down on the backside.
Every time I try to finish what I'm saying, Nature Dan is like, okay, time to go in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, Coach Eggboy able to go in and get enough burst off with his passive. So even with Swain ulting. So 3 kills now for Eggboy on the auction. Also has a nice CS lead and also a 40 CS lead now topside. So this almost, well, it's 1.5k gold now, which is what it was around 8.5 minutes. Quadratic flashing in there. Zillion instantly ulting Opie, so he will be resurrected. There's the stun, but the trap is going to be right there waiting for him. That is the thing about Zillion and Caitlyn. The flash in there for Balls Aldrin right onto Chad Penguin, but flash away instantly as well. Quadratic now will go down, but Chad Penguin gets the return kill. 3-0 now for Chad Penguin on the Caitlyn.
I taught him everything he knows.
That's the thing about the chrono shift there from Zillion is if Caitlyn's close enough to put a trap down, you're just going to spawn right on top of it and get headshot immediately.
He took notes from the game that me and oh boy, why is my mind blanking right now? The game that me and No Not went Caitlyn Morgana against him and in TNT. We did end up losing the game, but I gave him a really hard time.
Alright, so the Rift Herald had to be used mid because it was about to expire, and they're able to kill it before it can get close enough to charge. So, a bit of a waste there. Second dragon of the game was taken by GIR as well. And now we see it's going to be an infernal map. Seismic Beam taken really low. Flashing, Chrono Shift used early. Coach Eggboy not going to be able to get away.
Trouble.
Flash did just come back up, actually, which is almost lucky timing, so he is able to flash out. Lippy trying to trade here with Klugscheiser. Flash is over the Q, and ultimate away from Lippy 13 to stay alive. Alright, so now we're going to be 2.5k gold lead for GIR. Really impressive CS victories, top and mid, as well as a couple extra kills. We'll give him that gold lead. Oh my gosh.
TNT might die here. Wow.
Opie did not stand in and block the ultimate. Balls Aldrin now is going to get ulted and killed by Morgana. Shutdown, though, does go over to Opie. Gets rooted up by the Maokai.
Twisted
and will get
blocked.
Oh,
the
but the
smash knocks him away from the Q.
Here comes Seismic Beam, who ghosted in on Swain. He gets the never move, but there was a spell shield, so he can't get the root. He hasn't used... I don't think he's activated the... Finally, he activates it. And the Leandry's ticking down does not finish off Quadratic, but it is the second kill of the game for Opie. They lose their mid lane turret for it, though, as Eggboy takes opportunity to secure that, and now looks like he is walking up the river. He will be seen by this ward, so they know he's top, but he's taking the scuttle. They might go for a Rift Herald. Lippy just deciding to flash out. He's still half health, and he's tanky enough that I don't know if he was going to die right there, but just preserving his health, I guess. Now we do see Balls, Aldrin, and TNT in the wings.
Turret about to fall.
They jump right onto Eggboy. Equalizer comes down. Lippy goes into the Chrono Shift. Balls, Aldrin able to get one kill. TNT now does not have an ultimate to save himself. Lippy has come back, and he just decides to ult away. So it's a 2-for-1 and the turret in the successful dive. GIR now with a very impressive 5,000 gold lead, so... They are saying they do not want to go to Silver Scrapes here.
They're saying, end it here. We are the champions. Let us go.
So third dragon of the game is going to spawn in about 35 seconds. That would put GIR onto Infernal Soul Point. If they're able to secure that with the lead they already have, I think they would be in great position to close this game out. Right now it looks like POSIX has been on the Herald, so they're going to give up Pro on this dragon to take this Rift Herald. They will be able to get bot before it spawns, or at least around the time it spawns, so they can fight for it. But they're going to be running in here. Maybe they're not going to fight for it and just decide to go straight down mid.
Yeah. They do have bounties up, so the more turrets they can
they get One turret bounty
Yeah.
mid, and Scion is also pushing in the top side. Klugscheiser used his teleport. Quadratic flashing in to get the ultimate off. He trades his life for the Kha'Zix right now. Maokai ult is coming down. It does hit onto Seismic Beam, who gets a nice root and a good amount of damage there. Chrono Shift as well, so he's going to sustain through the ultimate. And here comes the ace in the hole onto Opie, who will survive for now. The bomb is going to tick down, but not enough damage to kill Nature Dan, so it is a 2-for-1. Scion, I would have thought, would have been able to walk into the river and ult down, but he did not. It looked like he was trying to wrap around the pit. But the angle then wasn't there, so he goes back top, but now there's enough time for Klugscheiser to come back out. I don't know if he's going to be able to push down this turret. He actually will, yeah, there's a demolish proc, so he'll definitely get it. But that's, so with the other turret that went down mid, that's 2 turret, objective bounties, even though they lost another kill exchange 2-for-1, but that brings the goldie down to 3,000 instead of 5, which is where it was, so overall that's worth. OP going static shiv first on Sivir, so really in great wave clear mode now, which Sivir already has good wave clear with her ricochets.
In before the chat comments about static shiv.
Okay, so now Klugscheiser, Egg Boy, Chad Penguin all on 2 item spikes. Looks like Nature Dan is maybe not going to be too far behind on like a Frozen Heart. On the other side, just the Sivir with 2 items. I guess Kha'Zix as well, but he went the cheap item. Umbral Glaive, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he does have 4 kills, so he would have gold for that. Oh, that second bomb does not get on the quadratic.
Yeah, it just expired.
Balls Aldrin flashing away, and Ace in the Hole can't be blocked by Lippy because he was rooted by Maokai. So some really important ultimates used by GIR there, but they do kill Balls Aldrin, so there is no smite. And this is
try and force this.
4, like they know that they're gonna lose bot turret for this. Oh, Seismic Beam flashing in there, but his team wasn't with him.
Deleted.
Lots of damage there on the quadratic.
They know that the Akshan is bot.
Boomerang Blade comes through. Oh, and Lippy goes deep and kills Caitlyn. Double kill there as OP gets the Maokai, and Klugscheiser is going to try to survive long enough to just shut down on the Lippy. So, in the end,
it doesn't even matter.
That's a 4. It's a 4 for 2 there, so they get some more golds, but they lose the turret bot side. That was 4v4.
You know, they tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter. They slowly neutralizing the gold difference once again.
Yeah. Which is good. Yeah, about 2,500, which is not really that big of a deficit when you're at 23 minutes.
Right.
This, though, is going to be the big important. So, 30 seconds for Infernal Soul potentially here for GIR. TNT rooted up, going to lose a bit of damage to the defiled ground, and takes an ace in the hole, so TNT very low. He has to be pretty careful. Lippy pushing in bot side, gets the turrets, and now Raw coming in from the bot side of the river. Here comes Slippy.
Scion.
Equalizer, though, is really big onto Opie, who has to flash away. Seismic Beam now in the middle, face-taking and draining. Klugscheiser is extremely low, but Egg Boy is able to take him out on the other side.
Gets the
Lippy and
revive.
Balls Aldrin trying to get some more damage down. Balls Aldrin needs to be able to jump onto Egg Boy, but he can't because
wow.
Klugscheiser's there. Lippy is going to try to run down
Klug.
Klug, but he can't. He's going to get the speed, and that will be the ace for 1.
Klug with 300 health getting the kill there on the Cosmos.
Maybe the ace for 2, but more importantly, Infernal Soul. This game
Rumble
just
able to
got...
finish that Void Staff and pick up a stopwatch for the next fight. That is a scary Rumble.
Yeah. Instant teleport in from Klugscheiser to help push down this inner mid turret. So back up to 4K gold lead, and now the
Oh my
stats.
God. One harpoon did half of TNT's health.
Yep, that's the Night Harvester and the Infernal proc.
Yeah, that's it's a little bit of damage. He's got a little bit of damage.
So now this game gets incredibly hard to play out the rest of the way against the Infernal Soul, but it's not such a huge gold deficit that it's out of reach. But all those benefits that come from Infernal Soul outweigh gold.
Starting to see why Klug's Rumble drew a few bans in the IBS league of Blue Otter. It's a very very strong pick. I think very comfortable for Klug. He definitely knows his way around the Yordle in the machine.
Okay, so right now they're just kind of dancing around mid lane and around the Baron. PNT is way up.
Ace in the hole would
He's
kill.
going to get... Balls Aldrin has an isolated target, but he just doesn't have enough damage. Egg Boy's on a rampage. Here comes the ultimate out of Sivir, but it's not going to matter. Klugscheiser's on a rampage. Also going to get the damage from the Demonic Embrace on the Lippy 13. It's a quick 2 for 3 for none, and Baron is on the table. And it is GIR now just putting the nails in the coffin. They're crossing the I's and dotting the T's, or however that goes.
Crossing the eyes.
As
Well,
they now have almost 8,000 gold lead, but they are wearing purple on all 5 members. And
Raw
now
is
it's just a
definitely
matter
feeling
of
a little,
closing it out.
Raw's definitely feeling a little cross-eyed after that last fight.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So now it's going to take a miracle, maybe if they can last out 3 minutes and somehow get the Elder Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way that Raw can do this, but...
Well, we're starting to see the problem that we pointed out with this kind of comp that Raw went with in Game 2, but like they ended up being successful with, was that there is kind of this go-in mentality, but then there's just a random assassin. And I think GIR just kind of found the counter to it. They know that
they just had all around like stronger comps. Oh, here comes the On the Hunt from Sivir. Looks like they're looking for the engage. And here comes Lippy and Seismic Beam. Caitlyn is already dead, and there's so much AoE happening in the backline there, but the equalizer was huge to kill Balls Aldrin. Lippy 13 is about to go down. Nature Dan is dead, and the revives are going to come in, but right now the fight is not over. TNT and Lippy actually survive. The revives come in for Chad Penguin and Quadratic. But they found a team fight that they could win.
right.
It doesn't really buy them anything because the inhibitor was already gone and there's no objective to take right now. But they want to fight.
It just saves the end of the game, I think.
Maybe a little bit of shutdown gold coming in there. So
right.
that's the third item bought for Kha'Zix. Still no 3 items on Sivir, which is big, or the Swain. But Sivir with that much CS, I would imagine would be able to get her third item by now. She has not.
Oh boy, quadratic catching out.
Balls Aldrin just
the Zillion ult down.
TNT and Balls Aldrin both flashing and using the Zillion ult, which I think at this point in the game is a low enough cooldown, like it'll be back up before Elder Drake. But both of their flashes, just from the support of GIR.
I mean, that's the strength of the champ, Panda, right? That's why the Kha'Zix has to be able to get in and kill the Akshan, because if you leave the Akshan up, then you leave room for that to happen. You leave room for the whole enemy team to just respawn.
Balls Aldrin is also severely underleveled compared to the solo laners. He's level 13 to 16 on the other 2 solo lanes, and Seismic Bean is down 2 levels to Coach Eggboy and Klugscheiser.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he finds himself isolated against the Akshan, but he still can't stand in there and fight him isolated. Here comes another Chrono Shift having to be used, but another Caitlyn trap is waiting for him on the way out. Elder Dragon now is spawned, but they're in a 4 versus 4 as the Klugscheiser is just going to be trying to take down the base. Opie and Seismic Bean are doing quite a bit of damage here, but it's not going to last. Yeah, Klugscheiser is just on the Nexus. Lippy is going to die finally after the passive. They lose the fight, but in the end, it didn't matter because Klugscheiser was on the Nexus. So, take a bow. Gaslighting isn't real. You win game 4. That's 3-1 in your victory. PMALCS Season 11 Champions goes to Gaslighting isn't real.
Congratulations. Excellent play there. It like I said, it would take a win on red side, or it was just going to inevitably be Gaslighting isn't real with the, up into that game we had the 3-0 on blue side. But yeah, I think it's great to pull out the win on red side, show that it is possible, right? Are you doing a player of the game, player of the series, player of each game, maybe?
No, well, if we were doing that, we would have been voting for him after each game. So, but we can't do a player of the series.
I'm kidding.
I can go ahead and do a player of the series poll for people out there. So that's going to be Klug, Dan, I'll do Nature Dan, Eggboy, Chad, and Quadratic.
You can definitely see the damage on the Rumble. Crazy champ. I mean, the champ is specifically meant to burn people over time, and with a line like, with somewhat of a front line of Swain and Scion, you get 2 people who can just take all of that burn damage from Rumble. He's sitting at 38k for this game. Next highest is Eggy on the Akshan, just under 30k. Just a strong showing overall from the whole team.
Yeah. It's late, so personally, I don't really want to do like an interview. I have to wake up for work in like 5 hours and stuff. But I did at least want to like do a quick player of the series vote just so we can
Mhm.
vote somebody. So get your votes in. I think in that game we saw a lot from Klugscheiser. Game 4 was his best game of the series, I think. But I think in the other games, Chad Penguin and Egg Boy both kind of outshined, and that kind of as they should, as like the really big carries of this team. That game, Auction, um, like completely dominated the lane and became a problem. We saw Egg Boy what he did on Xerath. Last game, game 2 on the Jace, even though they lost, he was like the strongest member of the team.
Mhm.
So personally, I think I would vote Egg Boy, but Chad Penguin also showed off on the Caitlyn. He had his Vayne game 1 and played really well like he always does. So I don't think he can kind of go wrong with either of those two.
Yeah. I definitely think that in terms of like an ace from the losing side, because I do like to talk about that as well, but I definitely would like to throw some glitter and sparkles the way of Balls Aldrin. I thought he did an excellent job in the jungle. He consistently kept on top of objectives. Sometimes made it hard for gaslighting to get to those objectives. And I mean, I think he just had a good showing. With I'm gonna have to say, as a caveat, with the exception of the last game, I think I think the Kazakhs was a wild pick, but
Yeah.
definitely in the first 3 games, Balls Aldrin had a great showing. I think so. It's good to see.
Yeah, Raw well played overall. Even in their like lost games, they showed pretty good fight through most of them. And congratulations, obviously, on just a good season overall for both teams. Raw, I think, started like 0-3 and then made their way up to the 3rd seed. So they had a really strong showing after that first week or two. And GIR was pretty much first or second all the way through, but showing here why. So the vote did end. It was Egg Boy who got player of the series, so congrats to Egg Boy, although it was close. And then, as I've been reminded here by chat, I totally forgot that Nature Dan had posted after the draft about saying all the other captains will rue the day, rue the fact that they don't draft Nature Dan earlier, and he proved them all right. He proved them because he won. He won the split. So boss moment of the season is Nature Dan calling everybody out after the draft and then showing up and proving it. So
Yes,
congrats to
yeah.
Nature Dan.
Congrats, Nature Dan. You are
So
PMA LCS champion.
yes, Klug, somebody will work on getting your guys' roles as champions in the Discord server at some point, but I'm not going to do it right this moment. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign out here. I thought Fwesh wanted to. I don't know. It's late, so I doubt it. But I think Fwesh said something about wanting to do an end of the season talk or something as the commish. So I don't know if he's going to stream something on his own channel. But it's late, so I doubt it. But we'll probably have some talk from the admins soon about feedback and stuff for going forward. So just be on the lookout for that. Getting as much
Give us our
feedback
point.
as possible is how we make the league best for everybody, is getting as much feedback as everybody from possible. So anyway, congrats to everybody again, and we will talk to everybody again soon.
Thank you for tuning in.